I don't have a jingle for Fester, like Where is Fester? I did have a jingle around here somewhere for Froggy. Where is Froggy? Let me see if I can find that. Yeah, hang on a minute. Where is Froggy? Da-na-na. Oh, here it is, right here. So listen to this.
Where is Froggy? Can you guess? In the John with IBS.
Now, Fester has not yet arrived. It is 6:01 here at the MJ Morning Show. Welcome, everybody. MJ here on, what is this, Wednesday. And I get
MJ and Roxanne here.
Get a series of texts from Fester, and I'm just very concerned, very laser focused on the Fester situation. And Fester calls me, and then Fester says, I'm in a jam. So hang on, let me call Fester. So Fester says he's in a jam. He then proceeds to tell me what the jam is.
Ooh, it better be a good one.
But then sends me a series of videos. Audio on all videos. All right, hold on. Let me play the first video. Let me hold my phone up to the microphone because he says there's audio. Oh, wow. You hear that?
What is that?
Oh, it's arcing and sparking. Oh, wow. And it's flashing like it's about to burst into flames. Here, listen. Oh, man. Listen to that. That's some serious arcing and sparking.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, these are... Oh, I thought he was going to narrate and give us like some play-by-play. All right, hang on. Oh, that's some serious stuff right there. All right, so hold on. Here's the second video. All right, the fire department's on scene. This is in Fester's neighborhood.
It was this one right here.
He's pointing out. Oh, wait a sec. So it looked like...
Where is this from?
His neighborhood looked just a little while ago. That's why Fester's late. Apparently, a power line was like arcing and sparking, and you heard the noise. Yeah. I mean, that's like something out of a mad scientist laboratory. So I'm guessing that this thing was like causing a ruckus. There are flames shooting off this power pole in Fester's neighborhood, and then he called 911, and I'm guessing maybe when 911 arrived, everything was fine, and nothing was... Oh, hang on, let me call Fester. Let me get to the bottom of this and see what is...
They think he's an alarmist.
All right, 813-310-8444, Fester's private cell number. Did I just give that out? Yes, I did. I'm kidding, because everyone knows what it is. Hello?
Go.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Where are you now? Are you still on scene at the arcing and sparking?
I'm not. The fire department dismissed me from the scene.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Did the fire department show up and then the power pole was not arcing and sparking and throwing off flames and sparks and making that noise when they showed up?
The pole was not doing anything.
Oh my God. So wait a minute. Don't you love that? That's like when your car is having a major problem and it's driving you nuts, and then you take it to the auto mechanic, and then the problem stops when you take it to the auto mechanic.
Or when you have like a major health issue and like your heart feels like it's racing all the time, and then you go to the doctor and you're like, how are you feeling today? I feel pretty good.
Or it's just normal. You're trying to show the doctor what's wrong, and everything's fine. All right, so
Roxanne, just like that.
all right, so what's the story?
I'm
All right,
driving
first of
down-
all, your Bluetooth on your 2010 Cadillac sounds like crap.
Okay, a couple days ago it sounded good. Hold on.
Yeah, today it does not.
All right.
Yeah, that sounds
How's
much
it?
better. That's much better.
Okay,
That's
great.
197% better.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. I was going for 190, so I'm really happy with 190.
You've overachieved by 7%.
Okay, so I'm driving down a road I drive down every day, North Boulevard, right? And
I thought this was at your house. I thought this was like the pole outside of your home.
No, it's not. I'm out of the neighborhood. I'm on my way to work in plenty of time. I would have gotten to the show with like 25 or 15 seconds to spare.
Okay.
So
All right.
I pull around and there's this telephone pole. Is that the transformer? Is that what that is?
Probably if there was like that round circular device, be a little transformer up there. Yeah.
So it's shooting out a ball of blue light. It's not shooting out sparks. It's not shooting out fire. Just balls and balls of blue light. Big blue balls.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
So I'm looking at it,
Uh-huh.
and there's no dwelling near it, but there is a tree touching it. And I'm thinking, do I leave and, pretend I never saw it, or do I call 911? Or who do I call?
You were being good Samaritan, because what if the tree caught on fire and then it spread and then it turns into like the Chicago fire from the 1800s?
And that was my big fear.
Right.
All of Southern Lutz burning down.
Moo!
You're going to get an award from Smokey Bear.
Moo!
Was that the stockyards in Chicago burning down?
No, that was wasn't it Mrs. O'Leary's cow that kicked over a lantern that started the Chicago fire? Isn't that the lore? Isn't that the legend?
Yeah, I think a cow did start it. Yeah,
I thought it was like Mrs. O'Leary or something. All right, so you're on the way in, and of course you see the arcing and sparking. You call 911. So fire and rescue shows up on the scene, and when they show up, there's nothing wrong.
Well, so it's I'm watching it for like 30 seconds, thinking to myself, what do I do? What do I do?
Well, like
So
your Carl Malden in an old American Express Traveler's Checks commercial. Yeah.
I called 911. Roxanne, as soon as 911 picked up, nothing. And I'm like, oh, it's not doing it anymore. Not doing it anymore. And I sounded like the biggest boob.
Great. So the Hillsborough County Fire and Rescue guys were probably fast asleep. It's 5:30 in the morning for whatever it is, and they get that bop, 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 engine 51, squad 51. Bop, bop, bop.
These poor guys.
Yeah.
They come, and then I'm like, I should leave. And they're like, no, it's not doing it anymore. I should wait for them. So they were there within minutes. I mean, they were there within 3 minutes. They were there.
Wow, that's quick
And-
response.
Yeah, it was really incredible. And
Did you show them the video at least that you're not some kind of crackpot?
right, so they drive by the pole. So I'm sitting there honking my horn. They think I'm some creep. I kind of slowly jog up to the fire engine at a respectful pace. I don't want to freak the guys out. So the driver opens the door, and he's like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "I'm the guy that called you." He's like, "What's wrong?" I go, "It's that telephone pole." And then in the second video, after I point out the pole, you can hear what the fireman had to say to me. He made it
Hey, you
sound like-
fatso, you got us out of bed. We were fast
what?
asleep.
So he didn't use those exact words, but that was his tone.
Oh, wow.
He made it sound like a very pedestrian occurrence all of a sudden.
Dude.
Well, he should be
And
happy
like-
it wasn't a big raging fire. It was just a little thing. They
Yeah,
had to
I
come
know.
double check.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, hold on. I should be like, in contention for Citizen of the Month.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
All right, so did you show them the video? Yes?
I show him the video, and he's like, "Oh, that's all it's doing." And I'm like, "Whoa, hold on now. It was pretty dramatic when I saw it, And
You're on the woke the firefighters up crap list now.
Listen, I've been there for a while, so I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, that's true. So you're trying to make your way around the county. First, your city of Tampa with the turkey fryer fire, and now this. All right, Fester. So where are you right now?
I just got onto the bridge.
Where are you now? Little Jimmy Harnan and Sync, circa 1986. All right, go. Where are you?
I just got onto the bridge, so I guess I'm 10, 12 minutes away.
All right, we'll see you in the next segment then. All right, buddy. Drive safely, okay?
But yeah, the firemen made it clear that they don't do those, and hundreds of transformers are doing this around the county.
Right.
And he'll just report it to Tico, and they'll get to it.
All right, so maybe a Fester overreaction. All right, buddy. Thank you. I will see you in a few minutes. Well, hey, what would your brother have to say about that, Roxanne?
He would say that he's going to get an award from Smokey Bear.
Yeah, all right. 6:10, traffic's on. MJ Morning Show back in minutes.
Good morning.
MJ Morning Show. All suspects innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. All right, 6:22 at the MJ Morning Show. Roxanne, where the hell's Fester? He had ample time to get in here. I don't understand where.
You gave him like at least 13 minutes. So, yeah.
I mean, he was getting off of 4th Street. What took him so long to then make it to the studio?
He was on the bridge when we talked to him.
Oh, he's on the bridge?
Yeah. But he said he was 10, 11 minutes away.
Yeah, so it's plenty of time. All right, 6:22. Got a couple of food warnings here. Welcome, folks, MJ Morning Show. Hello, a special hi to our early MJ Morning Show listeners. We highly appreciate your assistance in listening to the program, and hopefully we meet your expectations. Please stay on the line for a short survey after this radio show.
Can we talk about surveys for a second? I know you have to get to the food stuff.
Yeah, because I don't have a lot of time here.
No, I just have to say surveys. Can we just have a rule? If someone's going to send you a follow-up survey, if it's a phone call survey or if it's an email survey, it can only take 30 seconds. Because do you ever get them and you're like halfway through them and then you look at how much further you have to go and you have like 10 more minutes? And
what kind of survey are you talking about?
I don't, just you visit a doctor's office or you go to, you go to any interaction you have from a service standpoint, they send you a survey, a follow-up. And then those surveys.
Why do you feel compelled to have to do it? If it's too time-consuming, just skip it.
That's what I do. But then I feel bad because I've had this interaction with a service provider and I want to give them a good report. But I want to tell them your company is screwing you because they're asking me to do this 10-minute survey.
Well,
okay.
Listen. There's a survey that I get occasionally when I deal with Delta Airlines. And it is a one-question survey, and it takes like 2 seconds, and it's perfect. And it's something to the effect, thank you for holding on for this survey. We have one question. If, based on the interaction with the last Delta agent, would you hire that individual as an employee? It's like a one question survey.
That's perfect. Because,
exactly.
Yeah, that's all you need.
That's boom.
Tells it all because all the other questions they're asking you, you're just Christmas treeing it. You're not even looking at the questions.
When I deal with Delta Online or Delta, what I like to do is deal with Delta Online or deal with Delta through my app. But if I ever have to deal with Delta and then you get the survey afterward, it's one freaking question. It's like 10 seconds. Based on the interaction with the last agent, if you were running a business, would you hire them as an employee? And it's like, it's one question. It's like, thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah. No way. Yeah. Yesterday I was on the phone with Aetna, our insurance provider.
Oh, boy. For what? Some pre-authorization?
For my colonoscopy.
For the procedure or the Clen-Peak?
For the procedure.
Okay. And?
They finished the call. And then they go, can you hold on for a brief survey? I'm like, sure.
A brief survey? What is it, 37 minutes?
They go, thank you for taking Aetna's survey. Please answer these 5 questions. Like 5 questions, click, hung up right on it. Roxanne's right. If it was like a 1 question survey, I'm here to help. 5 questions?
Goodbye.
No time for that.
I ain't got no time for you.
I ain't got no time for that. Sweet Brown.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, love her.
Hey, so in the last segment, Andrew, how did I ridiculously work in the semi-mid-'80s hit Sinks, Where Are You Now?
Yeah, I was impressed that you even knew. You're like, you sang it and then you rattled off the
Do you even know
singer.
the song?
When you started to sing it, I was like, yeah, I think I know what he's singing. But the fact that you rattled off,
And actually, I worked at a radio station in the Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Newport News, Hampton Roads area. And they were playing, when I left college, 86, and I got a job at this radio station, they were playing this song. And they were like only one of the few in the country. Because the general manager the program director was friends with Jimmy Harnon, who was the lead singer of this. It was like a Pennsylvania band called Sync. And they had this hit, and it's actually a really good song, and they were playing it. And then somehow it became like it came back around and became like a hit nationally. And then a ton of radio stations. Yeah, 3 years was it? Andrew, what year was it?
Came out in 89, then came out in 86.
Yeah.
And then became a hit in 89.
Yeah, because when I started working at this radio station, they were actually playing the song. So hang on a minute. I think Andrew found it. It was in our system somehow. And this was Jimmy Harnon and Sync.
All alone tonight, I'm calling out your name.
Have you ever heard this? It's actually a good song. Like a power ballad.
This part of you remains.
Where are you now?
Images of love.
Yep, I remember this.
Take me back in time.
It's actually a really good song.
I don't know how
And then Jimmy Harnan, really nice guy. He used to come down and like perform this live at like certain events. And
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
One radio station was playing his
Yeah.
song. You bet they would do your concert.
so I would ask Jimmy Harnan, where are you now? Where are you now?
where are you now?
Anyway, I'm sure that was on Tremonti Watts' top 9 at 9 on Q105.
it was
Or top 5 at 9,
top
whatever.
5 at 9, yes.
Back in 1989. Do you remember that one, Fester, when you were,
I was,
listening to the Q back in the day?
You know what? I now that you've played it, I want to say it sounds remotely familiar,
Right.
but I couldn't have told you anything about it. They were from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Oh, hang on, man. Hold on, man. I that's the Z one. I need the Q one. What the hell am I doing over here? Hang on a minute. Where's the Q one? Did I lose it? Hang on a minute. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is the one I'm looking for. There we go. All right, so 628. Oh, I did know that, Andrew. Jimmy Harnan is like working for a record label these days. I had to reach out to him. He'd probably remember me as the nighttime DJ MJ.
Oh,
I
yeah.
did the top 9 at 9, not the top 5.
Oh.
I didn't gyp the listener with only 5 songs at 9. I did the top 9 at 9.
Coming in at number 8 for a third day in a row.
Yeah.
It's Tiffany.
When I was on 97 Star WGH in the Tidewater, Hampton Roads area of southeastern Virginia. All right, so I got a couple of food things. Now, Fester,
Yes.
I wanted you in the studio for this particular matter because you're a grill chief. I mean, you're a griller.
I know my way around a grill.
Exactly. Have you ever grilled bear meat?
Ooh. I have not.
Have you ever tasted it? Have you ever tried it?
I've never had bear meat.
Me neither.
Yeah.
So
The reason why I bring this up is because I saw that undercooked bear meat left 10 people of a North Carolina mountain event with face swelling. And I'm like, whoa, yeah, listen, haven't they had enough crap in Western North Carolina? I mean, the aftermath of Helene, which obviously we experienced here with the storm surge, I mean, some of the devastation in Western North Carolina is just unfreaking believable.
Yeah, it's pretty tragic what's happening up there in Western North Carolina.
A parasitic outbreak has left at least 10 people with facial swelling. It was caused, so this happened a little while ago, but the CDC is, I guess, coming out with a determination. A new report from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the undercooked bear meat infected 10 of the 22 attendees of the event a little less than a year ago.
So they keep saying undercooked bear meat. If I was going to eat bear, I mean, I like my steak medium rare, but I
yeah.
would definitely go for a medium cooked bear just to be on the safe side.
So with a thin line of pink, is that it?
Yeah, just for,
Not medium plus?
no.
So I watch several homesteader type shows.
Yeah, and they eating bear meat?
Or like Man in the Wild type shows.
Apparently they got trichinella.
Yeah, that's a real thing.
Now, the pig thing, that used to be trichinosis, right? Undercooked pork had a parasite. That was called trichinosis. I remember my mom scaring the living bejesus out of me when I was a little kid about, like, pork chops. Oh, no, that's got pink in it. Oh, we're going to get trichinosis.
and then you get more.
And then the pork chops are, then cooked for another 37 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're turned into the consistency of particle board.
Yeah, like
And
your
it's
leather on your shoe.
Oh, my God. Anyway, so trichinella, Fester. But did you ever grill bear meat? No?
I've never grilled bear meat. I cooked a lion steak one time.
You know, I've had lion.
Yes, I cooked a lion steak one time.
Yeah.
I used to have a friend that had a kind of like a boutique meat market where he catered to like really exotic animals.
Yeah, I once had lion in, where was I? In Saint Martin.
Okay, Jay Peterman.
Oh, I'm sorry, Saint Martin.
Okay.
I was on the Dutch side, and there was a restaurant called like La Paraquette or something. They used to serve some exotic stuff, and I actually had a lion there back in the probably mid 80s, late 80s. All right, 6:32. You know, I still have additional food stories, but we consumed too much of this segment with other garbage.
Consumed.
All right, so no, seriously, I've got like a pile of food-related stories. You know, Mr. Beast is back in the news, food-related. We got a waffle problem. We've got Boar's Head update on the liverwurst. Man, I got a lot of stuff.
Oh, there's another big one that if you didn't mention this one, I'm going to bring it to your attention.
It's the McDonald's situation, but it doesn't affect us here in Florida. It's like out west is where it's happening. Yeah, that's in the pile as well. All right, 6:32 at the MJ Morning Show. As hey, we're just getting rolling. You know what I have next? I've got Morons of the News in minutes and a spectacular pile of Morons in the News next. MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. All right, nothing like a wild monkey inside a Walmart.
I love that. Where was the Walmart?
Indiana. It would be better. It would be better if it was like Bartow, but it was not. It's a wild monkey who apparently scratched up a 3-year-old something fierce inside an Indiana Walmart. You know, that's probably the last thing you expect. You're shopping with your 3-year-old at Walmart, and the next thing you know, you got all kinds of monkey scratches all over you. Listen, it's a 3-year-old kid, so I do feel a little bad here. Bedford, Indiana, a 3-year-old is recovering after being scratched by a monkey inside a central Indiana Walmart. Yeah, it happened last week. Walmart. Local police responded to the incident. How does that 911 call go?
You know what? That's a horrific. If you're watching, how do you not get really scared for the kid?
Oh, man.
What kind of monkey was it?
Bedford Police Chief Terry Moore confirmed that a 3-year-old was scratched by a 16-year-old Java macaque.
Oh, we know who likes that monkey.
At Walmart, Chief Moore said the parents of the child declined medical treatment at the scene. Well, wouldn't you want to put some peroxide on that thing? And,
yeah, just a little bit. Some Neosporin.
Yeah, right? Some kind of ointment.
Yeah, some type of antiseptic or, put some...
Hemiclins.
Antibiotic.
Yeah. What's the brown stuff they put on you?
Oh, the iodine?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Betadine.
Betadine. There you go. Betadine, yeah.
Listen,
I haven't used that in a long time.
all of that they sell at Walmart.
Yeah.
The manager could have just pulled it off the shelf.
Exactly.
Can you just grab it and in that situation, can you just grab it and use it and not pay for it?
No, they're going to still ask to see your receipt on the way out.
Need some get gauze on the kid's face and
monkey scratches everywhere.
Did you pay for that gauze? In an email to Fox 59 CBS 4, a woman identifying herself as the child's mother said the monkey's owner showed paperwork that it was an emotional support monkey.
I feel like monkeys, I don't know, how supportive would they be emotionally, or would they just create more chaos in your life?
But wait a minute. But the mother said that the paperwork for the emotional support animal was not for the monkey. It was for a dog.
What?
Yes, the monkey was reportedly wearing a diaper.
Of course. I mean,
and had a leash attached to its waist. There's even a picture of the monkey sitting inside the shopping cart at Walmart. I'm going to hold this up to MJTV. Look at this. There's you see it?
I mean, it's a.
Oh yeah.
There's the monkey head right over here.
It's a cute monkey when it's
hang on,
not scratching toddlers.
There's the monkey just
What a
sitting
sweetheart.
inside the Walmart shopping cart. Oh, man, that's hysterical. A pet macaque that... What are you laughing at?
Because you said you said that really softly, so it just sounded like
What
it
is
sounded like you said pet macaque.
He's not into poultry, Roxanne.
Roxanne, I'm going to wash that mouth out over there.
It's a monkey.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah. A pet macaque that should have never been in the store scratched and hurt my baby for no reason, and the animal wasn't even seized. The woman wrote, "We weren't facing it, didn't even know it was in the store,
The monkey just attacked?
had no snacks, and in no way provoked it." The woman said that she's now hoping that Indiana lawmakers change the rules surrounding pet animals being allowed in public, saying that she hopes wild animals are more regulated. And it's unclear if a police report was filed. Bedford, Indiana police did not provide any further information to Fox 59, CBS 4, Indiana, where news comes first. And in fact, I do believe that I have their news theme at Fox 59. Coming up tonight at 11. A macaque problem at Walmart. A macaque monkey scratches a 3-year-old. That story is coming up next on Fox 59 News at 10. And then at 11 on CBS 4. Anyway,
Who's this new news guy we hired? He's terrible.
get me Hal Herman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MJ, listen,
Oh, Hal Herman could have had a field day with that one.
That's what I'm saying.
some of
Yeah.
these Midwestern states
There would have been more macaques than you can imagine.
some of these Midwestern states have really
Macaques
loose.
all over the
a
place.
lot of macaque talk.
Yeah, in your face. Yes, Fester.
Some of these Midwestern states have really loose animal laws as far as exotic animals or these kind of out of the boundaries pets like macaques.
You should be the macaque news guy. Look at you.
Do me
All
a
the
favor.
information.
I'm the expert that the reporter goes to.
Bring up m-w.com. Bring up the Merriam-Webster Talking Dictionary. I just want to make sure. That we're pronouncing macaque properly. You know, in case there's any complaint or FCC inquiry
All right,
Yeah,
spell
take a
it.
look at macaque.
over macaque.
Spell it for me.
Yeah, M-A-C-Q-U-E,
M-A-C.
I believe. Oh, I'm sorry, M-A-C-A.
A.
Q-U-E.
Q-U-E.
Yeah, there we go. All right, so just you got it. All right, here we
Yes.
go. All right, let's listen to how you actually pronounce this. And hang on, let me bring up the internet here, and here we go.
Macaque.
Okay, that's one way, and then
Macaque.
there you go.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
spell it.
Oh, okay.
Yep, hang on.
Macaque.
That's
Macaque.
yeah. So that is a Merriam-Webster approved pronunciation of any genus of chiefly Asian monkeys, typically having a sturdy build and including some short-tailed or tailless forms.
Macaque.
Yeah,
Macaque.
there you go.
Macaque.
So that's the monkey right there at Walmart.
That's like the ultimate insult to call somebody a tailless macaque.
All right, so let's go to LaGuardia Airport now, where a woman tried to sneak a samurai sword onto an airplane. What is it? You ever remember the old John Belushi Saturday Night Live skits with samurai dry cleaner and remember those? Remember those?
Yes.
Yeah, Samurai Deli. Yeah, Samurai TSA. Yeah, a woman was caught trying to sneak a samurai sword in her carry-on bag at LaGuardia. Yeah, a weapon was discovered when the woman was having her luggage screened before a flight on Monday earlier this week. Officers spotted the sword. Yeah, you can't bring. Look at this thing. Look at the picture of this sword. I'm going to hold this thing up to MJTV.
I mean, can you check it?
You can check. Absolutely, you can check that. You can check this. You just can't carry a samurai sword on the airplane with you. Wow. So TSA officers swiftly contacted Port Authority police, who confiscated the large blade, and they released a photo of the sword with an ornate black handle. The woman was issued a summons for a court appearance later this year.
You know what's funny is most of the time when the stuff is going through the screener,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, what could that be? We might want to investigate this. That's pretty blatant. Imagine that big hunk of metal on your security screen. You're like, okay, we got to stop this lady.
I think I see something here, boss. You want to come over and verify?
Exactly. Is this what I think it is?
Time now for Samurai Security.
That's a good name for a security company.
Oh, Samurai Security.
Yeah, you hire
Yeah.
all
And-
swift Asian men.
No. You can have all types of ethnicities, but the uniform is like the samurai,
Robe?
Komodo looking thing. Yeah, or kimono. The komodo's the dragon.
Yeah,
The kimono is the garb.
I live in America. I call it a robe.
Hey, listen, I've got too many good morons. I got a bees in the news story. I've got, oh man, you got to hear about this car wreck at a school sports event. Oh my God. We've got a big Florida story here. We've got a battery involving spaghetti. Yeah, we'll get to that coming up. All right, hold on. I'll continue with part 2 of Morons. Just too many morons today. Not enough time and too many morons. That's why you get a double dose in just a second here on the MJ Morning Show. Also, the 7 o'clock hour starts next here on 104.7 FM, Q105. Let me tell you. It is 6:59, almost 7 o'clock at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 104.7 FM here in Tampa Bay. MJ, Roxanne, Fester, Andrew in the booth. And this is a story that bothers me. I saw this. When did I print this out? I printed this out on the 20th. So what's today? Today's the 23rd. And I just didn't get around to it yet, but it's very important. A Delta flight attendant, and listen, I like Delta. This is not a reflection on the airline because, I've had some, I don't know if I've ever had a nut job Delta flight attendant, but we've had a nut job United flight attendant one time. Remember the nut story? Remember that?
Yes.
Remember that thing with,
Yes.
Michelle was eating some Marcona almonds and
That
the
was quite
flight.
recently.
No, that was 8 years. That was 8
What
years ago.
happened?
Well, we told the story. You don't remember the story?
Well, the Marcona almonds sound very familiar.
We told a story recently.
Yeah,
That's what
Michelle, we told the story recently, but it happened some time ago.
Okay.
Michelle and I were on a flight. I think we were going from Denver to, Newark. I think we were coming back from Colorado or something. This is, when we did a little time up in New York. And Michelle doesn't like nuts per se, like peanuts, but she fell in love with Marcona almonds. We were out in wine country. We did a little, weekend, nice little trip out to wine country. That was a whole week, actually. We did a little, Michelle, MJ, little, getaway to Napa. and we went to one of the wineries, and with the tastings, a lot of the wineries, they offer Marcona almonds and cheese, and Michelle had a Marcona almond for the first time, and it's like not like a regular almond. They're lightly fried in like olive oil and then lightly salt. They're phenomenal. So if you've never had a Marcona almond, the best ones are Don Juan, if you can find them. So we're on the flight, and Michelle has a napkin on her tray, and she's got like a handful of these Marcona almonds that are on the napkin. She's just snagging. And the flight attendant spazzes out. Oh, my God! I'm allergic to nuts! Ah! And she freaks
Yeah, I remember
out.
this.
I mean, it
That was
just-
crazy. Yeah.
I mean, we're nuts. I mean, I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm in the United Airlines Twilight Zone over here. Anyway, another flight attendant later on came up to us and gave us the woo, gave us the finger twirl around the head indicating crazy.
Yeah, the international.
Woo! Yeah, the international.
Doesn't matter what language you speak. You go finger to the temple.
Yeah, and you start spinning it around. That's the international signal for crazy.
I know.
And I mean, I was going to file a complaint with United. It was bizarre. Anyway, so, I've had mostly good experiences. I was on American Airlines I flew Breeze back, but I flew American up. And I think the flight attendants were, for the most part, fairly nice, but there was just one snotty flight attendant that just almost couldn't be bothered with anything and just had an attitude, which wasn't friendly.
What, they throw their drink at you?
I had no direct interaction. It was, during the beverage service, it was just not a friendly attitude.
What, they had like a puss on their face or something?
Yeah, there was American Airlines flight attendant puss going on. Exactly.
Yeah, I think I told you about, was it LaGuardia? I said that they tried to really just give me a hard time about my bag, even though it fit in the thing, and they were not letting me. So I've had a bad experience with the travel agent.
And again, travel agent?
A counter
Excuse me, the
Flight
counter
attendant-
agent.
Counter agent.
Yeah.
All right. So the deal with flight attendants are you can get great ones on any airline, and you can get just a snotty one. Maybe they're having a bad day, but
isn't that true for any profession?
yeah, it is. In any profession, you can come across people, customer service, or forward-facing individuals that are either nice or not nice. Listen, maybe they're having a bad day, but you got to get past that, and you can't reflect that, and you can't then cast that onto the customer. Anyway, I just noted that there was kind of just a snotty flight attendant on American. What leg was that? That was Tampa to Charlotte.
Yeah, the first leg of your trip this weekend.
Yeah.
All right, that's for any profession. People are turning on their radios right now. You could get a morning show host who's friendly and nice, or you could get one who's a little snotty.
Like Roxanne could be just a snot bag some days.
I'm so snotty.
Yeah. And
But
so-
you're a sweetheart 99.9% of the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Amazingly, she wasn't the one I was referring to.
All right. So here's the flight attendant. We got a little sidetracked
All
there.
right, what happened to Delta?
All right. Now, Delta, again, I've usually had very good luck on Delta. Delta is my typical airline of choice. This woman was wearing a T-shirt, and we've heard the stories about passengers refused boarding because of an obscene T-shirt, or passengers that were made to put something over a T-shirt if the message is obscene or foul.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
I don't get this. This is really problematic. The founder of a company that is dedicated to educating folks and working toward ending veteran suicides was told by a flight attendant that your shirt is a threat. You have to get off the airplane and change that shirt.
All right.
This is terrible. And this woman, Corey Schaefer, said she's appalled by this.
What does this shirt look like?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
What did it say?
Helping
And-
veterans,
and-
saving veterans is certainly a worthy and noble cause.
And by the way, this woman who founded this suicide prevention organization to end military suicides, she is a Marine Corps veteran herself, and she was removed from a Delta flight, ordered to change her clothes. Flight attendants said that her shirt was threatening. Catherine Banks was a 22-year veteran of the Marines, was on board a Delta flight at San Francisco International Airport to visit family. This is back on October 16th. She wore a dark gray outfit, and even was in like Comfort Plus, so paid for extras. She was wearing a T-shirt that said, "Don't give in to the war within. End veteran suicide." And the flight attendant thought that was like a threatening shirt. It didn't say, "I'm going to bomb this aircraft at 37,000 feet." T-shirt didn't say that.
Did it have a bunch of pictures of guns on it or
No,
anything?
no.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
This is a T-shirt trying to call attention to the problem of veteran suicide. And the flight attendant wigs out, freaks out, and is threatened by the T-shirt. Maybe the wacko at the nuts from United is
Same
now
one.
working over at Delta.
I just got here from United. Hey, that T-shirt's triggering me and my nut allergy.
Is it safe to say maybe this flight attendant wasn't that bright? Like misinterpreting the T-shirt?
Sounds like it.
Not to stereotype anybody from any particular region, but San Francisco might be the place where somebody gets triggered over something.
That is nuts.
Kind of
So
ridiculous.
the flight attendant said you can't come on the airplane with that T-shirt. And listen, the airlines give the flight crew, obviously the captain, the first officer, the flight attendants, they give them discretion in deciding whether they think a passenger is a threat or if you shouldn't be flying on that airplane, whether it's behavior, whether it's, garb. In a lot of cases, we've heard about like the women that are wearing
Yeah.
like little tube tops or something and their boobs are just bouncing and hanging out. And
There was a woman who wore Spanx or some kind of leggings, a young girl, and she got shamed and asked to put different clothes on. I remember that one too. She was kicked off the flight.
right. I'm a Marine Corps vet. I'm going to see my Marine sister. I've been in the Marine Corps for 22 years and worked for the Air Force for 15 years. I'm going to visit her, is what this woman was trying to explain. And she was just dumbfounded. And the military service didn't seem to have any effect on the flight attendant.
Nah.
The shirt is sold by the Till Valhalla Project as part of a 22-a-day collection that brings awareness to the estimated 22 veterans who commit suicide each day. Are you serious? That is a terrible number.
Yeah, nationally,
Wow.
that's the average
Sad.
number.
Oh,
yeah.
no.
I've heard that before.
That
That's
is
awful.
terrible. But that's also just an awful story, an uneducated, ridiculous decision from a flight attendant to force the person to take the shirt off. I feel threatened. Give me a break.
I actually pulled up a picture of the shirt.
Wow.
Oh, let's
It's-
see it.
It's just verbiage. It's just
Yeah.
bold white. It's a black T-shirt.
Yeah, it says, "Do not give in to the war within. End veteran suicide." Then there's an American flag on the sleeve.
Ooh.
There is nothing wrong with this.
Yeah.
Oh, Festa, look, they make a 4XL for you.
Ooh. I'll get one.
Why is the small the same price as the 4XL? I mean,
Equality, man.
What?
Equality.
Dude, there's like, 4 times the fabric.
Yeah, it goes to show you how cheap the fabric is.
Anyway, I was just appalled at
Yeah,
that.
and there was nothing in there, MJ, like the flight attendant didn't have any explanation. She just said,
It's their
She-
discretion.
yeah, I don't like that shirt. Get off.
I think it might have
Why?
been. I think it might have been a male flight attendant too. Hang on a minute.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it might have been a male flight attendant. You assume that it's a she, but there are plenty of male
Of
flight
course.
attendants. Let's see. Anyway, I thought I saw it might have been a male flight attendant.
Well, look what's happened because of
Yeah,
him.
yeah. A male flight attendant escorted her off the plane and said the message was threatening. So it was a male flight attendant.
Well, because
Look
he
at
did
you.
that.
Look at you instantly gravitating. You're discriminatory. Instantly gravitating toward a flight attendant of your gender
Yeah,
when it's the
that's-
opposite gender.
Look at me. Yeah. We need to respect women around here. I'm so sorry, guys. But let's go back to what the flight attendant did. He brought awareness because we are talking about it. So in his quest to get this woman off the flight, he's actually helped her cause. Right?
Yeah.
I think that was the end result because now obviously this would have been a non-story. Now it's a story and it's bringing more awareness to veteran suicide. All right, this is nuts. Can you imagine? Listen to this story. Can you imagine that you're at a high school football game and a car flies through the fence and tumbles onto the field in the middle of a football game?
Oh my gosh.
I was just at a high school football game in Virginia Beach last Friday night because it was the homecoming game at my 40th high school reunion at Cox High School.
How did Cox do?
Cox beat Tallwood Yeah, Cox had a big lead. And then at halftime, we all left. So halftime, they did like the homecoming, the king and the queen stuff.
The court, yeah.
And, you know what else they did? This is pretty cool. They had our homecoming court, some of the members from our homecoming court from 1984, they actually drove around the field as well in an old, convertible with the sign, Cox High School class of 84.
Oh, my God. How embarrassing was that for the students? Clapping for these geezers riding around in convertibles, riding around the track.
Out of California, an out-of-control car went airborne and flew through a fence at a high school football game in Torrance, landing right next to the football field mid-game. A Jeep, and this is like a Joey Chitwood thrill show or something, or something out of the Dukes of Hazzard. The Jeep flew through the air and landed upright on the track next to the field where the kids were playing. Wow. Surveillance video shot by Randy Gibson shows the moment the driver sped through, I guess, an intersection, smashes through the fence. How did this guy get this on video?
I mean, high school football games are recorded.
Yeah. Oh, this guy was outside doing yard work when the crash happened, but why was he videoing when... Oh, it's surveillance video, so it must have been like a Ring doorbell or something. Wow. That's amazing. The car went through the fence, landed on the track next to the field. Heard the crash, turned around. I was at the other end of the field, turned around, and I saw the car flipping over on the field. Then it started to catch fire.
Yeah, that's awful.
Man, this is the most exciting part about this football game. Wow. Yeah, that's about 15 minutes before the crash. Listen to this. About 15 minutes before the crash, the same driver was reported to the police as a reckless driver. Someone called 911.
Oh, no.
Wow. The driver nor anyone on the field sustained any injuries.
It would have been cooler if, like, the car would have made it to the field and, like, the announcer is like, he's at the 50, the 45, the 40, the 35, the 30. Touchdown.
You know what that is?
What is it?
Those are bees. Yeah.
It kind of sounded like a power going out.
You are not a good bee impersonator.
Yeah. I mean, you do make some good noises, but bees aren't your best. You're going to get a C for your bee noise.
Yeah, folks, don't attempt to kill bees or flying, stinging insects on your porch with a homemade flamethrower.
Dude.
Listen to this. A person trying to exterminate bees. Well, first of all, leave the bees alone. If they're wasps or hornets, that's a different story. But if they're regular bees, man, save the bees.
Bees are super valuable. We need bees.
Yes. A person trying to exterminate bees by taking a flame to the bees and the nest on their porch nearly burned down a home. Yeah, so Beacon Fire Department, they responded to a structure fire. Then they had to bring, this is Beacon, New York. So this is like the Hudson Valley.
Oh, get it? Beacon.
There you go. So Beacon, New York, and they had to call in the Castle Point and the Fishkill fire departments as well. It's like a 3 different fire departments that had come in for this thing.
For one house?
Yeah. The fire was extinguished at approximately 7:30, so it took like half an hour to knock this thing down. No injuries to first responders. But what are they? So using making a homemade flamethrower to try to kill the bees? Right. Come on, so leave the bees. Save the bees.
When you say
don't exterminate, don't incinerate the bees.
Have you never made a homemade flamethrower? I've gotten rid of some like cobwebs in my garage with.
Dude, how about using just a broom and sweep it out instead of like trying to flame it out?
With hairspray and a lighter.
That's pretty stupid.
Yeah.
That's pretty dumbass right there.
Pretty efficient.
That's pretty dumb.
You know what left? The cobwebs. They were all gone.
That's pretty dumb.
Anyone in this room ever had a bee's knees cocktail?
Yeah, Michelle likes that.
She does like them?
Michelle likes the bee's knees.
It reminds me of like the old talkie days. Hey, darling, want a bee's knees?
That's made with gin, right?
Gin. 2 ounces of gin.
Yep. What are you talking like a flapper?
It sounds like a flapper.
What are you a flapper? You're talking like a flapper at a speakeasy. Hey,
boys.
It's a prohibition. Hey, boys, want a bee's knees?
All right, 7:15 at the MJ Morning Show. When we get back, we start an hour and 20 minutes. of non-stop MJ, including the latest on our totaled car. You're not going to believe the money situation. I'm like, what? So listen, my car situation, our car, which was eventually totaled because of Hurricane Helene, is minor compared to what many other people are facing.
Sure.
But I do have an interesting story regarding the insurance situation on our totaled vehicle. Got some news yesterday that was kind of a shocker. I'll get to that. Plus, man, we got a lot of stuff to do. It's, hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ coming up next. Also, there's a Halloween costume I do not want to see. I need the latest on Fester's colonoscopy coming up on Friday. Fester might be missing the show. We'll find out.
Find out either today or tomorrow on the procedure.
Hang on. We got a lot of stuff coming up. I've even scratched the surface. A woman says she's caught thousands of unfaithful men cheating. And she's got 8 signs that your guy's cheating. And then have you ever heard of controlled cheating? This is a whole separate story. You ever heard of controlled cheating? All right, we have a lot coming up, obviously. Next, MJ Morning Show. Don't move here on Q105. Want to tell you... All right, 724 at the MJ Morning Show, and here we go. At least 1 hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ, and I never just stop there. I always deliver more. You know, it's like under-promising and over-delivering.
Yeah.
That's our theme here on the MJ Morning Show.
Like when you go to a restaurant and they say the wait is going to be 45 minutes, you're like, and then they seat you in 20 minutes.
And then that vibrating puck goes off.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Fester, any word on your colonoscopy on Friday?
Other than it's scheduled to happen.
Can you just tell them that you're like a broadcaster and you're on the air from 6 to 10?
And they're going to say, and I'm a doctor, and this is when I'm going to put my scope up your butt.
Yeah, the doctor's like, hey, man, you don't want my job. I mean, but maybe he's going to let me bring a microphone in there?
I mean,
maybe you guys
did you tell them try to schedule me for after like 11 a.m.?
If I'm being honest with you.
Afternoon? Can I get an afternoon appointment for a colonoscopy camera hose up my butt?
Okay, so I am not thrilled about having a late appointment.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to be a bag of you-know-what during the show. Like, do you really want him to come in after he's had all those nasty drinks?
Yeah, I'll be
and
on
having
fire.
no energy and having to go to the bathroom. It's not going to be a fun morning.
Today is day
Earlier
one.
is better.
Day one of a 2-day water or clear liquid diet.
You know what? Why don't you use this opportunity to lose some tonnage?
No, I'm gonna use this opportunity to reset so I could clean everything out so I could load it back up.
Listen, I'm just trying to get you healthier, man.
Listen, well, health starts with having.
Is this your first colonoscopy?
By a medical professional, yes.
Great.
A couple of self ones.
Super. All right.
So the insurance company
Fantastic.
covers the colonoscopy 100%.
Yeah, most do.
Unless there's something they have to cut out.
Right.
And then,
Polyp.
well, if there's, I talked to the insurance company yesterday. They're like, you're covered 100% because it's preventative. But if there's a procedure that needs to be done once they enter the back door, that is against my deductible.
What's
Really?
the price per polyp?
Wow.
I don't know.
You know what?
PPP.
Yeah.
In Fester's case, they're not going to find a polyp. They're going to find a dollop of daisy. You know, is that sour cream?
That's
a
sour
dollop
cream.
of daisy. Remember that?
Listen, I got jokes, but I'm going to keep them all to myself.
Yeah, why don't you keep those to yourself? All right, so we just don't. It's mystery colonoscopy. We don't know if Fester will be here on Friday or whether Fester is going to be.
We'll find out tomorrow.
I'm telling you, I probably won't be here on Friday. I mean, bank it. I mean,
I hope you're not here on Friday because that means you get it over with sooner and you don't have a miserable morning.
even if I'm the last one, MJ, and listen, I pop those Docalaxes and drink those mystery drinks and, drink that magnesium, whatever. I mean, I'm going to do it all to clean out as much as I can.
Did you get the prescription for Clenpeak?
The doctor doesn't like that material.
Really?
Yeah.
He does.
Your colonoscopy hose doctor doesn't like Clenpeak?
Yeah. I brought it up to the.
Interesting.
I brought it up to the. What do you call a nurse that's like a little bit higher than a nurse? Like a
PA, a physician's assistant?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like his head nurse called me.
Nurse Ratchet?
I called and I was like, hey, I got an issue. And I asked about it. And she goes, yeah, we don't do that. And they said, listen, we look at hundreds of butts a month. And this isn't our prep. So the prep is the Miralax and Docalax. And I think I'm going to slip some of those magnesium drinks and I'm going to flush it all out.
Listen, I had to tell you, MJ, this is factual. And you should know this because you've had one. But if Fester is here on Friday,
I've had two.
You've had two. You've had multiple.
I had one, and no real predisposition to my family. Just my physician said, "Hey, I think I had my first one at 46." He said, "You know what? Generally it's 50. Why don't we just do an early colonoscopy on you?" And everything was clear. And then I had another one like 5 or 7 years later. I think I had one at 53. And again, all clear, looking real good.
Yep.
Who's your doctor? You could write it down if you don't want to say it on air.
It's not that I can or can't say it. I can't pronounce it.
Well, does it start with an M?
I think it starts with a K something.
So
the doctor has a.
It's Dr. Rectalwitz. It's Dr. Rosenrosen.
It's Dr. Doctor. It's not a Rosen.
Got to laugh out of Andrew. Andrew loves any subtle reference to like Fletch.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew seems to like.
I wish it was.
It's the only time I get him to laugh in there.
Doctor?
Well, you found what makes him.
I can put on clown shoes and a clown nose. He doesn't laugh. But I say Dr. Rosen. He's good with that.
I'll laugh at your
Or John Cocktosin or something.
Hey,
there's another laugh. Look at that. Hey, what about Mr. Poon? Another laugh. Look at that.
That was a chuckle.
Hey, Andrew, can you come into the studio for a second? I logged myself off the studio.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Andrew, come in here. Fester, how'd you log yourself out of the computer? What did you do?
I Control-Alt-Deleted because my wireless mouse froze.
Oh, great.
And I forgot to tell him. So,
Okay, listen, MJ, as I was saying, you've had this done a couple of times.
Yep.
Maybe it's different with Clenpeak, but Fester, you are going to be going to the bathroom on Friday morning.
That's one of my. Listen, I have no issues with that.
Sure, just bring a bucket in here.
No, don't be in the comfort of your own home.
Just bring one of those 5-gallon orange Home Depot buckets in here.
I've got one, man.
All right, moving along. Another Fester item I want to deal with quickly. If you were not listening at 6 o'clock this morning, then you don't know what happened. Fester was late. Fester was dealing with a power pole incident, and Fester, Mr. Dudley Do-Right, woke the firefighters up with a 911 call because Fester was driving down, Beers? Where were you?
It was the North Boulevard area near 41 in Beers.
All right, so Fester's on the way to work this morning, and a power pole is all arcing and sparking, and it's throwing off all kinds of blue, blasts of plasma light. Let me play this. Hang on. Let me bring up your video. And I'm going to hold my phone up to the microphone. Listen to this thing. I mean, this is real audio. And I can hold the video up to the MJ TV. Yeah. So that's a power pole, and Fester thought that it was going to burn all of Lutz to the ground. So Fester calls 911 this morning at 5:30?
Yeah, 5:30, 5:32. I mean, isn't that the responsible thing to do if you see this power transformer on a pole just shooting out blue balls of light?
Goodness gracious, blue balls of fire.
I mean, it's not normal. Yeah. I mean, I drive all over the place. I don't see this happening.
Well, you probably should have called the TECO emergency line versus calling the 911, and Hillsborough County Fire and Rescue came out.
Why wouldn't 911 have told me that? Why wouldn't they have said, listen, pal, it's not a real emergency. Psh, stop wasting our time.
Here's the deal. Listen, this is the second video.
Yeah, so it was this one right here. All right, the deal is after the storm, there are thousands of poles across the county that are doing this. Okay. Thousands. All right. So as long as the line isn't down,
Tico isn't worried about it.
Okay.
They'll get here when they get here. I'm just going to report the poll number to them.
Okay.
They'll get here when they get
All right, man. I appreciate it.
Tomorrow might be next week.
Okay.
All right, and then, hey, and thanks for waking us up. We were fast asleep at the fire station. You know what? We're looking for like a real heart attack situation, or how about, a garage that's on fire?
No.
And here, Tubby, you're calling us about just a couple of blue sparks off of a power line.
Oh, I kicked that firehouse door open and I was like, wakey, wakey, let go, Snakey. Come on, boys.
No. It's wakey, hands off, Snakey.
Let go, Snakey.
Wakey, hands off, Snakey.
So listen, I
Yeah.
said, get in that truck. Let's check this power pole out.
Right.
They were not happy about it, but they were fine. They told me what to do, which was never call them again for something like this. Call Tico. I don't know who to call.
All right.
What do? You call 911, right?
7:33 at the MJ Morning Show. A little update on my car. This is really interesting, and I had no idea that this was going to be the result. And again, let me preface this with our car being totaled is minor. On a scale of 1 to 10 of severity, our aftermath of Hurricanes Helene and Milton are a 0. So there's not, don't offer condolences. Sorry about your car. No, listen, so many people lost so much. I see people in my neighborhood, still the piles of debris that are out there, and personal effects and like albums of photos, and I mean, it's just sad beyond belief. And the people that have gone through Helene, then they got hit with Milton, and people that got flooded, and then they get a tree through their house. I mean, with Milton, I mean, so our situation is minor. I just thought this was interesting in the fact that we did have 18 inches of water in my garage because we're right on Tampa Bay, and luckily I had no drywall. The whole garage is concrete block and stucco and painted with elastomeric, and I just pressure washed the garage out. But the car did have water about a quarter way up the tailpipe. It was at the just a little above the door sill, but there was no apparent water in the car, and the car ran fine. But then, like 4 days later, a message came on that said drivetrain error, blah, blah, blah. So I get it to the BMW dealer, and initially they diagnosed it. Yep, it looks like just the starter. And my insurance company, USAA, they go out to the dealership. Like a lot of times they'll do a virtual.
Yeah.
And on this car, they wanted to do a visual, and what could have been a relatively inexpensive repair, relatively speaking, with a starter and labor, it turned into USAA said, nope, we're going to total this car. We don't want you driving this car, because they found some water intrusion, and he peeled up the carpet, and there was water underneath that hadn't come through the carpet. So the insurance guy did a really solid job from USAA. And this dude, by the way, he's from Louisiana. They brought in all kinds of appraisers. USAA, they brought him in from all over the country because of the number of claims here in the Tampa Bay area. So they totaled the car. So I finally got, and this is what's interesting, I finally got the settlement information yesterday. And I don't want to give specifics out, but it's a leased vehicle. It was a 3-year lease from BMW on this X5M. And, a new car, 2024. It only had 11,500 miles on it. I love this thing. I didn't want it total. Just fix the starter. I say, well, have a nice day. I got 2 more years left on the lease. Anyway, the car gets totaled. And then I get the settlement numbers yesterday, and I know what my lease payoff is because I called BMW Financial. I got my lease payoff, and I knew what the number was. But listen to this. The insurance company is sending BMW Leasing, BMW North America Financial, they're sending them $16,500 more than my payoff. I just thought the insurance pays off the remainder of the lease, and I've got gap coverage and all that stuff. They're paying $16,500 more than what, because it's the value of the car.
Is this like a financial windfall for you, or is Mr. BMW going to keep it?
No, well, that's the question.
Because you don't own the vehicle.
Listen, that's why I'm bringing this up. So is Mr. BMW, BMW Financial Services North America, are they going to keep this money? Like, hey, look what we found. Oh, it's extra $16,500. So the debt is settled. The lien is settled on the vehicle, what the remaining balance is. But what I owed on the vehicle is column A, and then in column B you had the actual value of what my car was, and that's what USAA is paying for. So it turns out, what do you think happens to this $16,500 windfall?
BMW keeps it because it's their vehicle and not yours.
They're throwing a freaking party.
You bet.
No, I'm kidding. No, they're putting it on my account as a credit.
Okay.
So when I lease my new vehicle, and I've already ordered a brand new 2025 X5, and so now I have a credit. So I'm going to have a $16,500 credit for my new lease.
Great.
Wow. So no, they're not keeping the money as long as I and they even sent a note out saying, "Hey, we'll apply 100% of the overage to your account." And I would rather my insurance company I wish it was just like the payout, because I don't want the insurance company to have to pay out more than they have to. But that's the settlement.
Yeah, as long as they don't make everybody else's rates go up.
Well, listen, all rates are going up. Everybody with auto insurance. You're going to see another increase here in Florida. There's no doubt about it. To cover both Helene and Milton, car insurance, homeowners, everything is going up. I'm telling you right now that everything is going to see a premium increase after these storms. I just thought that my story was interesting in my situation. $16,500. Hey, speaking of the storm, one other item here. You know what I don't want to see? I don't want to see little kids knocking on my door or walking around the neighborhood on Halloween wearing like debris outfits. I hope, seriously, like walking around as a pile of debris, like furniture legs sticking off you and couch cushions.
I don't know if too many kids are dying to be a debris pile right now.
I'm just telling you right now, the last freaking costume I want to see is kids walking around as piles of debris. We still have debris in my neighborhood. And it's not just the organic stuff. We still have piles of furniture. We have piles of carpet and that drywall makes a mess, man. Yeah, the piles of drywall, and that really should have been bagged. And instead, people just throwing chunks of drywall, and then it disintegrates, and it's all over the place. It's a chalky mess.
When they were ripping that drywall out, I don't think they were in the right frame of mind to properly dispose of it.
Yeah, listen,
it's a mess.
It's a terrible situation. I feel for everyone that had far worse implications than what Michelle and I and Chloe had at the house. All right, what time is it? 7:40. All right, I've got to do my 7:45, which is like these wedding stories. If you're getting married soon, I hope this crap doesn't happen to you.
I'm going to a wedding this weekend, so I'll keep my eye out for wedding stories there.
Jeez, why'd you get sucked into that?
I know you hate weddings.
God, you know what? I don't want to be invited to weddings, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, quinceaneras. Is that how you say it?
I don't
want to be. Right.
I don't want to be invited to anything.
I think that's right.
No, don't invite me to birthday. Nothing. I don't like those things. All right. So I've got a wedding pile, and I'm just hoping that none of this happens to you. We'll get to that in just a matter of moments here on the MJ Morning Show. All right. I mentioned that I had some additional food stories because we did what was the food story we did at 6:20? Oh, the undercooked bear meat.
Right. The bear meat.
Yeah.
But there's something more mainstream, at least
there are
a region.
There are several things, all right? So, Food Alert continues here on the MJ Morning Show, and there is a big foodborne illness story that's brewing. Just a couple of things. For whatever reason, I got a pile of just food-related deals here. All right, the first one is the big breaking national story. Breaking news! On the MJ Morning Show, and this is this E. coli outbreak at McDonald's. But let's be clear, it's not here in Florida. So McDonald's restaurants are not affected here in Florida. It's pretty much out west. Most illnesses in Colorado and Nebraska. Yeah, McDonald's shares fell because of an E. coli outbreak that the CDC has pinned on McDonald's in mostly western states. Yeah, 10 hospitalizations. Let me try that again. 10 hospitalizations and 1 death. Man, that's not a happy meal.
No.
You go to McDonald's, you die. That's not a happy meal.
Yeah, at least get like a Grimace shake or something to wash it down.
Yeah, so the E. coli initially you think, oh my God, McDonald's, a hamburger, E. coli. You're thinking what? It's the
meat.
but it's not.
Is it the cheese?
No.
It's the,
I know.
What?
Go ahead. Do you know, Fester? You want to make a guess?
There's only a few ingredients left.
Right, we're running out of ingredients. But it's the lettuce.
The what?
The lettuce.
Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. E. coli does upset us.
What is it?
I thought you said you knew.
No, I'm guessing. I'm still throwing guesses out.
They think it could be onions.
Oh,
Yeah.
everything.
That would have been the last thing I
the
guessed.
one
I
thing,
would have
exactly.
guessed lettuce,
Thank you.
then tomato, and then I think I might have even forgotten that it has onions on it.
No.
I didn't know
Yeah.
onions and E. coli went together.
I mean,
It's-
anybody who
It's a quarter pounder, and they think it might be the onions, which apparently are pre-sliced, and they must come in from a food service. The restaurant chain said initial findings from the investigation show that some of the illnesses may be linked to onions that are used in the quarter pounder. They also said that no other menu items are affected, but if you get a regular cheeseburger or hamburger, that also has onions on it as well.
Oh.
What?
No, if you get a cheeseburger,
Yeah.
it's got the little chopped up like little sizes of like a Tic Tac onions.
That's what that. But apparently, the quarter
the
pounder
quarter
is different.
pounder has sliced onions.
Oh, it does.
Yeah,
Oh, I
it
didn't
doesn't
know
have
that.
like the little chiclet looking onions.
All right. McDonald's shares dropped yesterday. 49 cases have been reported in 10 states between September 27th and October 11th. Most of the illnesses were in Colorado and Nebraska. Most sick people reported eating a McDonald's quarter pounder. So they were able to forensically kind of piece this one together fairly quickly.
So the hamburger has like dried onions that are reconstituted.
Really?
Yeah, that little size onion, where the quarter pounder has sliced onions that come in a bag
Gotcha.
already processed.
Yeah, quarter pounder hamburgers will be temporarily removed from the menu, unavailable in states including Colorado, Kansas, Utah, Wyoming, and portions of other states. But that's primarily where. But Florida is not on the list. I do not see anything for Florida for any of these issues.
See, the quarter pounder is my go-to.
Is it really?
Yeah. I the new Big Mac chicken sandwich came out. Have you guys tried that yet?
You know what? You included that in your email.
Yeah, I did
that
try it.
It's the chicken Big Mac.
Yeah, I did.
So it's essentially a Big Mac, but instead of the beef, they put in their chicken fillets.
Yeah, and their chicken fillets, I don't know if I don't.
Man, you are a fast food junkie.
No, but when I have it,
you've told the stories of you like going to fast food places, and then you pull home, and then you sit in your garage and you just like chow down your fast food. It's like it's almost like sneak eating.
Thank goodness I remember to turn the car off once I've shut the garage door. But I do.
Yeah, you don't want a Lincoln Lawyer situation,
right?
Yeah.
So I sit in the garage because there's just some peace that comes with eating in the privacy of your car without children nipping at your ankles. So
try to steal your fries.
Yeah.
Listen, Roxanne, fast food is kind of like
it's a treat.
A treat.
By the way, that
vice of
chicken
yours.
Big Mac, Fester just brought it up. That was a 700 calorie splurge.
Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure.
Did you eat the whole thing?
Okay, funny you say that.
Did you
because
lick the wrapper of the leftover sauce that?
Pretty much. So
Did
I was
you-
going
did you
to
eat the wrapper
yes,
like
let me tell you,
like a
Les, you asked me
goat?
3 times. I
All
ate it
right.
like a goat. I ate the paper. I ate everything.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I just I got the chicken Big Mac, and then I told myself, Roxanne, just eat the bottom half, and then it's only going to be 400 calories or so, and get the top half to Doug.
Yeah, you couldn't stop there. You just
Nope.
ate the whole damn thing.
I couldn't stop,
Then you
and
ate-
so I ate them separately.
Then you ate
yeah.
the steering wheel in your car.
I did.
in the garage.
Eating aluminum cans.
Yeah, she got some of the special sauce on the steering wheel. She's licking it off.
Yeah, and I washed it down with my windshield wiper fluid. Oh, that was good. No, it was pretty delicious, obviously. And the chicken, the way I would describe it, I don't eat a lot of chicken sandwiches at McDonald's unless it's a spicy chicken sandwich, which seems very different than these chickens. They remind me of if you took a kid's chicken nugget and just expanded it. That's what the chicken is like on the chicken sandwich.
All right, boys, we got the old chicken nugget. We're going to quadruple it and put it on a Big Mac.
We're going to have a mutant McNugget.
Yep.
That's what it seemed like.
It's
Yeah.
We got
the
this.
mutant McNugget.
We got a herd of freak chickens over here. We're going to make mutant McNuggets come out with a chicken Big Mac. What do you
Well,
think?
listen, McNuggets are essentially the particle board of food.
I love them.
Fine.
I love them. The frying on the McDonald's nuggets better than any other one.
Moving along here on the MJ Morning Show. Did we once have, I'm trying to remember, when my kids were growing up, was it the Wiggles or some, was there some waffle song that we played? Was there some waffle,
Sounds familiar.
like a Waffle Wednesday, or was there some waffle song? I'm trying to remember.
So I remember when your kids were growing up, Michelle would always have Waffle Wednesday for breakfast.
Right. But I thought there was a song from one of the kiddie TV shows, something to do with waffles.
Yeah.
If you can think of it, let me know.
The only one that's coming to my mind is I like to eat apples and bananas. Remember that one? And you go through all the vowels. Did your kids do
You're
that?
even singing that in like baby talk voice.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Teaches you your vowels, but it's not about waffles. It's apples and bananas.
The reason why I'm bringing up waffles is that frozen waffles sold at Walmart, Target, and others is being recalled over listeria. You know what? E. coli is saying, "Hey, listeria, you're getting all the you're getting all the attention lately." So E. coli's got to pop up in the McDonald's quarter pounder out west. So because they're like all pissed off because Boar's Head and the listeria deal, and there's an update on the Boar's Head deal. No, seriously, hundreds of frozen waffle products sold at major grocery stores have been recalled due to listeria. Treehouse Foods, which is based in Oak Brook, Illinois. It sounds like they make all kinds of store brands.
You got to figure one place probably private labels all kinds of waffles.
Oh, yeah. They, same product. They just put it in a different box with a different name on it. Yeah, so Treehouse Foods recalled waffles. Popular brands like Best Choice, Target's Good and Gather, Walmart's Great Value, distributed all over the United States and Canada. So if you have any of these products, go ahead and look it up online.
You mean to say there's no difference between Walmart's Great Value and Good and Gather from Target?
Listen, you got so many chains here. You got Best Choice brand, Better Goods brand, Clover Valley brand, Food Lion brand. You've got giant supermarkets.
Those are supermarkets in the north. Though.
Yep. And Food Lion is like in Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina. Hannaford, which is up in New England. Harris Teeter, which is also in the Mid-Atlantic. Price Chopper.
Does it say Publix or like Winn-Dixie or Aldi stores?
Nope. You got Schnucks. There's no Publix on the list and no Winn-Dixie on the list. Price Chopper. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, Publix is. I'm sorry.
Well, Publix goes up to the Carolina.
Whoop. Pull up. All right. So here's the deal. Publix is on the list. Publix Homestyle Waffles and Publix Buttermilk Waffles are on the list. I didn't see them because there are like 4 pages of products on these.
Essentially, it's every supermarket out there. Then.
Every waffle on the planet is being recalled.
Throw them out.
Except there's no Winn-Dixie on the list.
Here's your song.
Oh, did you find the waffle song?
I think so. It's by the Wiggles.
All right, go ahead and roll it.
Waffles in the morning, even as I'm yawning. Waffles help me start the day.
I love waffles in the morning as the day is dawning. Let's pop them in a special way.
I want to hear them work listeria into the song.
Syrup, butter, apricots.
Great idea!
Strawberries, raspberries,
Listeria,
or cherries.
Oh, remember the song by Def Leppard? Listeria, when you're near.
Yeah.
Remember that song? Oh, I'm sorry. That's Hysteria. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was Listeria. All right.
Hey, so let me do a little would you rather question. Would
Yeah.
you guys rather get sick from listeria or from E. coli or salmonella? Where does that come into play?
That's a disgusting game show.
but it's a real question.
That is a,
But it is,
that is a morbid, depraved
Okay,
game show.
what if you had to, you have to eat this?
I want none of it. I don't
Either
want.
the
I
E.
don't want
coli or the listeria. Which one?
salmonella, listeria,
Yeah.
or E. coli.
And what does salmonella do? I mean, where does that?
Oh, that'll give you the squirts.
Yeah, I think all of
They're
them
all-
do the same thing.
Yeah,
I would take E. coli.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and then let me move along here because I'm late on the wedding stuff I got to get to. So listen to this. Boar's Head is being sued for $20 million by the widow of a Long Island guy. All this dude had was some liverwurst from Boar's Head, and he did. He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. A Long Island man died in July after eating listeria-contaminated Boar's Head liverwurst. The widow is now suing for $20 million. Robert Hamilton of Hicksville. My uncle and aunt, they're out in the Hicksville area. I wonder if they knew this Robert Hamilton. Can you imagine?
A lot of people live there, you know.
Can you imagine you go to the supermarket, you get some Boar's Head liverwurst, next thing you're dead. Holy crap. And then the widow's now suing Boar's Head for $20 million. Last I saw, it was like, 10 people dead at least?
Yeah.
With that listeria outbreak tied to apparently that filthy plant up in
Virginia.
Jarrett, Virginia. Yeah.
Middle of nowhere
You know what?
town in Virginia.
But Boar's Head did this to themselves. I mean, and Boar's Head, it's like family owned, and they're based in Sarasota.
I didn't know that. Yeah. During this whole listeria outbreak that came up.
The corporate, they're based in Sarasota. And listen, Boar's Head is a great brand.
I just figured out my answer.
But how do you...
I want listeria, not when I'm pregnant. Okay, go ahead.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Rod.
But how do you let a food processing plant get to the condition that it got to in Virginia? It makes no sense. You have directors and vice presidents of food safety, and wasn't there some whistleblower, some guy that tried to say that he complained about the filthy plant in Virginia, like multiple times for months, and it was ignored?
I saw that there was like a government inspection, and they came up with like a really long list of areas to improve, and they did none of it.
Anyway, all right. So speaking of food, one other item here. Logan Paul's. It's a YouTuber reviewing Logan Paul, Mr. Beast's Lunchly Pizza. All right, so
Are they friends?
Is that like a consortium? Is that like a dual project that Logan Paul and Mr. Beast have a food line out?
It's a food collab.
Listen,
I think it's
so Logan Paul, Mr. Beast, and KSI created what they call a healthier alternative to Lunchables. Now, I did hear this, that Mr. Beast wanted to compete with Lunchables and come out with a healthier version for the kids, and they call it Lunchly, but somehow Mr. Beast and Logan Paul are involved.
So it looks like there's Prime Energy Drink is the beverage in there.
All right.
So that's Logan Paul's company.
Gotcha.
It comes with a little snack, which is the Feastable,
Wait,
which is
wait. There's an energy drink in the kids'
or just a electrolyte drink.
Yeah, okay,
Like a Gatorade.
okay.
It's not
Okay.
Like, it's not Red Bull.
It's not like a
No.
Celsius for kids.
Got a whole bunch of kratom and caffeine pills in there too.
Yeah, it's not that. It's like a Gatorade type product or a Powerade.
Got some Delta 8 in there.
Yeah, nothing like
Got
that.
some Delta 8 all wedged up in that Lunchable.
All right, Logan
In
Paul,
that Lunchly.
he will punch you in the face next time he's in town.
Hey, what's going on with the fight with
Mike
Mike
Tyson
Tyson?
fight?
Yeah, when's that going to happen? Is that supposed to happen or what?
For some reason, November 6th
Yeah.
seems to stick in my mind.
What,
but
the
I have to
day
look-
after the election? All right, so anyway, the reason why I'm bringing up this Logan Paul, Mr. Beast Lunchly pizza is apparently some people have found mold on the cheese.
All right.
If you're going after Lunchables and saying you've got a healthier lunch kid product, maybe make sure you don't have mold on your cheese.
No, that builds up their tolerance.
Ugh,
It builds up their immune system.
Hey, listen, it's like preventive penicillin kind of treatment.
You know, if this co-branded by these three guys, they're going to sell a ton of them.
All right, I've got a couple of wedding issues that I want to talk about here. I'm sorry, I'm running about 10 minutes late on this, which is actually pretty good. But if you're having an upcoming wedding, I really hope that it's a beautiful, enjoyable day for you and that you don't suffer from any of these little speed bumps that I'm about to bring up. And I've kind of compiled them. This is like three different things, just totally separate stories, wedding related. The first one is this woman says that she threw her mother out of her wedding because mom did something unforgivable. Mom did something shocking. Shocking, I say. Yeah, a groom's mother did something really bad by bringing her son's ex-girlfriend as the +1 to the wedding.
Oh no, Mom!
Oh, no.
What are you thinking?
Yeah, really. Yeah, this was a Reddit post. 30-year-old man revealed that the newlywed's mother never really liked his 29-year-old wife. Wow.
So at the wedding,
Brought an ex-fling of the groom as a +1. The son, the groom getting married, the mother brought an ex-girlfriend of the son to the wedding. That's terrible. All right, that's number one. Hope that doesn't happen to you. Number two, My ex-boyfriend cheated on me with my best friend. Now they're begging me to go to their wedding. What the hell?
Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to miss that one.
Oh, a woman whose boyfriend left her for her best friend is like bafflated. Look that up. That's in the MJ dictionary.
It's there.
Yeah. Again, a Reddit post. Tell you what, the Reddit wedding threads are great.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Whether their stories are real or fake, it's still good content either way. So they went on Reddit. The woman was seeking advice after her former boyfriend and best friend begged her to come to their wedding. So this woman was best friends with this other woman. So the boyfriend cheated on her with the friend. They then hooked up. He dumped her. Now the cheater is getting married to the woman's ex-boyfriend, and then they invite her to the wedding? What the bleep?
Yeah,
Really?
I got to wash my hair that night.
I mean, love,
Sorry, can't
love
make
is
it.
love. I mean, if it wasn't going to work out with you anyway, let somebody else be happy.
Yeah. She explained that her boyfriend of a year and a half, Josh, got to watch out for Joshes, 27 years old, broke up with her 3 years ago so she could pursue her best friend, Anna, 25 at the time, who he had feelings for.
So it sounds like he wasn't cheating as much as he sounds like he broke up with her, then pursued her best friend. I mean,
how many folks, like if we opened up phones on this, maybe I might go back to this either later today.
Got their best friend's
Yeah.
date.
No. So you're dating somebody and then you just are ultra attracted to your girlfriend's friend.
You know what happens is,
Or it's the other way around. Or, you're ultra attracted to your boyfriend's friend if you're a woman.
Yeah.
the problem is you go out as a group.
Or also just adjust accordingly for them, they, and all that stuff.
Thank you for all of your correctness.
Yes,
it's appreciated.
Thank you.
You go out as a group and you see your significant other with other people in their group interacting, and you realize one has a little more charisma, one's a little funnier, one's laughing at your jokes a little more.
That would be Riz.
Well,
listen, Fester, listen, don't act as old as you are. Use Riz.
You know what?
It'll lower your apparent age by at least 17 years.
Amen to that. No cap, bro.
Riz.
All right.
But then you wouldn't be getting a colonoscopy on Friday.
About to say, yeah. Not too many teenagers are going to be in that waiting room.
All right, so that's wedding story number 2. Wedding story number 3. Couple humiliated after 16 of their 80 invited guests RSVP'd to the wedding.
Aw.
Why? Why, you ask? Why did 16 of the 80 invited guests? Andrew, what are you asking?
Why?
It was a rave-themed wedding.
Oh, I definitely would go to
Oh,
that.
my
Yeah.
God.
How did they not get 100%?
Did it have the foam and the soap on the floor and everything?
Just
And
rub Vicks all over each
flashing
other.
laser lights?
take Molly.
Giving people seizures and everything?
Do you know how many awful weddings I've had to have gone to finally get to the place where I said I'm never going to another wedding?
What's worse? We're having a rave-themed wedding or we're having a P. Diddy freak-off-themed wedding? With baby oil and lubricant.
I mean,
what's
And GHB, don't forget, that's the secret magic ingredient in the baby oil.
Apparently, mixed into the baby oil. Holy crap.
I mean, I pulled up the registry for that wedding, and it was just baby oil. Wow. That was it.
Yeah. So, the couple's really humiliated. They were doing a rave-themed wedding. God, I can't think of anything I'd not want to go. A rave theme. I don't want to go to weddings in general. And then you're going to have, rave music, giving you a freaking splitting headache
and
with flashing lights.
Yes.
Who are the 80 people? Who are the ones that didn't like the grandmother?
Yeah, because usually your wedding a lot of times is all your parents' friends, so they're probably like, nope, not going.
Over 80 invites were sent out to the guests, who most live in town, and only 16 people RSVP'd when it was announced that it was going to be a rave-themed wedding.
Why did you disclose that? You had to drop that bomb on them once they got there.
Hey, you know who I want to call up live right now?
Who?
I would like to call up the fabulous Hillsborough County State Attorney, Susie Lopez.
Okay.
Because did you see this cretin, this woman that was arrested for breaking into a neighbor's house who had evacuated and is stealing their crap from inside their house?
Is she squatting in there?
Well, she broke in and stole stuff.
Oh.
the update here is from yesterday because the woman appeared before a judge in Hillsborough County. Listen to this. Hillsborough County judge has ordered a Tampa woman held in jail until her trial after she was accused of burglarizing the home of a Hurricane Milton evacuee, according to Fox 13. During Jennifer Weekel's, W-E-C-A-L, during Jennifer Weckels' court appearance on Monday, Hillsborough County Sheriff's Detective Matthew Gaither, Gaither High School is named after him, testified that Weekel knew that her neighbor had evacuated as Milton approached, and after the storm passed, broke into the neighbor's home. Gaither said a witness, when asking Weekel what she was doing, reported that Weekel said she worked for the government. What? She's hauling stuff out of people's houses, and she's saying, oh, yeah, I work for the government. And then she pretended to take a picture of the home or something. But the witness also noticed that Weekel was taking items out of the home and loading it into her car. Gaither, the Hillsborough County Sheriff's deputy, testified that Weekel was a suspect, spotted her walking around the neighborhood. Hillsborough County State Attorney Susie Lopez said the burglary happened during the state of emergency. That's why I want to call her up, because charges are enhanced if you commit a crime during a state of emergency.
Really?
Yeah. So there were illegal drugs involved, and then the items she stole. Let me get Susie Lopez on the phone. Susie Lopez, the state attorney for Hillsborough County, up for re-election in a couple of weeks here. I think she's going to be standing by for our phone call. 813. All right, calling up Susie Lopez, Hillsborough County State Attorney. This is just appalling. This is horrific.
Good morning, MJ.
Is this Madam State Attorney Susie Lopez?
It sure is. How you doing?
We are doing well. So we just kind of went over the story about this Jennifer Weckl, whatever her pronunciation is. I mean, how horrific is this, that she's busting into neighborhood homes during the evacuation and stealing stuff?
You know, MJ, this happened on Thursday morning. Now, the storm came in Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Thursday morning at 8 or 9 o'clock, and this was in Town and Country, and Town and Country was a neighborhood that was just ravaged.
Yeah, Baycrest was hit really hard.
And so the resident of this home had evacuated, but she was smart, and she told her neighbors that she was evacuating. So when their neighbors saw a woman in a tank top and flowered shorts going in and out of her house, they went up to her and said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "I'm with the government." Well, the government's not going to send somebody in a tank top and flowered shorts to go and take things out of somebody's home.
Yeah, removing stuff out of the home and then putting it in her car. So apparently she was taking out jewelry, watches, purses, and also took a gun out of the house.
A gun, MJ. And so eventually the neighbors said something's fishy, and so an investigation began, and the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office did a fantastic job in tracking this woman down and getting her identified. And when she was arrested, she had a bag of methamphetamine and a bag of fentanyl in her pocket.
Wow. What a fine, upstanding citizen.
Yeah. And so on Monday, we filed, the state attorney's office filed a motion for pretrial detention, which is mandatory now because this charge, burglary of a dwelling, is a second-degree felony punishable by up to 15 years in prison. However, because this was during a state of emergency, it becomes a first-degree felony punishable by up to 30 years in the Florida State Prison. We filed the motion, and the judge granted it, so she is now being held on no bond on that burglary charge.
Until trial?
Until trial or the resolution of the case. She sure is.
Wow. Are you going to offer her a plea deal, or you want this to go to trial?
You know, it's going to be up to her what she wants to do, but the message is very clear, and I've been saying this for the last several weeks, since Helene even. You're going to be held accountable if you take advantage of our citizens in Hillsborough County, especially during a state of emergency. Yeah. I mean, everybody, so many of us evacuated, and we wanted to come home to make sure that our houses were not damaged by Milton. And in fact, this lady's house was damaged by by one of her fellow citizens. So it's just not acceptable. She is looking at significant prison time based on the charge. I mean, she's looking at up to 30 years in the Florida State Prison.
Oh, wow.
We'll see how everything comes out, but she's going to be held accountable, and I'm confident that she's going to serve a good bit of time in prison.
Does she have a previous record?
She does. It includes drug charges, which is not surprising because she had drugs in her pocket when she was arrested.
Yeah, meth and fentanyl. And you even put out a statement that now is not the time to prey on your neighbors. So even apparently, was this before the incident that you put out the statement that don't?
Yeah, I mean, we started these statements, MJ, before Helene.
Yeah.
Not realizing that we were going to have that 1-2 punch that we did. But we've made it very clear that you're going to be held accountable if you take advantage of your neighbors in any way. Contracting without a license, burglary, theft, you name it, we're going to hold you accountable.
Susie Lopez, Hillsborough County State Attorney, thank you. And throw the book at her because you got to make an example. And we'll follow the case and see what happens. I appreciate you coming on the MJ Morning Show again.
Absolutely. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
You too.
Susie Lopez. She's been fantastic for Hillsborough County.
She has.
So if she said now is not the time to burgle or take advantage of fellow citizens, does she have any tips for burglars out there as to when a more appropriate time would be? Maybe after Easter? I don't know.
I mean, but to then get caught up in the enhanced charges, what a dumbass.
Idiot.
Yeah, total. And we're looking at her mugshot right now, and her mugshot's like, womp, womp.
Oh, here I am.
Womp, womp.
I'll be here for the next 30 years if you need me.
Oh, boy, yeah, she's in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, Jennifer Weckle. What a stupid move. I gotta prioritize here. It's 8:09, so we still have a good chunk of time left in our at least 1 hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. But I gotta prioritize here because there's just so much good stuff today. So I mentioned, Roxanne, was there anything that caught your attention earlier this morning when I teased what was partially coming up in the hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ?
Okay, the wedding stuff, which you went through
Right.
that piqued my interest because I told you I'm going to a wedding this weekend.
But there was something else I said, and you kind of, I saw your eyes perk up.
Oh, I knew what it was.
What?
It was something about cheating,
Yep.
and then I tried to go Google whatever it was you said, and I couldn't find it.
Yep. 2 cheating stories that I want to do here. This woman says that she's caught thousands of cheaters, unfaithful men. And I guess women can hire her or women follow her advice. Madeline Smith is like chick bait. You've heard of this, like where a woman can hire like another woman to approach their man, their husband, their fiance, their boyfriend.
So Madeline Smith comes up to you like...
Whether it's on social media, whether it's at a bar. You've heard of these stories where, and I'm trying to figure out how much of this is like urban legend versus how much of this really exists where like a wife, a fiance, a girlfriend sends out a bait chick to see if your boyfriend, what are you laughing at over there?
I don't know. I feel like...
You like the term bait chick?
Yeah, no, I'm just kind of grimacing or cringing because I don't know. I feel like that's entrapment. I don't like that. The whole thing.
Really?
Yeah, I just think that's like really, like what if he doesn't do anything?
Okay.
Then yeah,
hold on to that. Hold on to that thought. Andrew says I got to grab line 5.
Okay.
Regarding looting. All right, hold on. I'm going to go right back to the bait chick, but let me just grab this while it's still fresh. Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show. Nancy in Manatee County. Hi, Nancy. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, honey. How are you?
Hey, honey. Hey, honey, boo-boo. Hey, sweetie pie. Hey, honey child. All right, so Nancy, you're calling it about the looting, the burglary story we had during the hurricane. Did something happen to you?
Yeah, I have a neighbor who is, thank you. I have a neighbor who has gone into several different people's homes and has taken things. And I ended up at her home not that long ago, 4 days, I'm on 4 days, and seen my objects and my deceased mother's objects in her home.
Hold on. So during the evacuation or whatever, she went into your home and took items, and then you're in her house and you're seeing your stuff in her house?
Yes.
Did you call? You're in Manatee County. Did you call the Manatee County Sheriff's Office?
I haven't yet. I have this little bit of a heart left. And
Whoa. She stole your stuff out of your house. How
All
can
your neighbors?
Yeah.
I know. And I know.
you got to call the sheriff's office?
You think?
Yes.
Hold on, let me think about it more.
Now, what did she steal? Give me an inventory. List some of the things that she took out of your house that you just saw in her house.
Well, this is the story. My mother passed away December 2nd, and I was told that I was in Philadelphia trying to get back down here for my mom who passed. And before I could get here, apparently the neighbors have all told me that she has gone in with a trash bag and collected the things that my mother supposedly promised her, which is like nuts.
Oh, wow.
But 4 days ago, I was standing in her home. I went to borrow nail polish remover, believe it or not. And she, I couldn't even tell you the first object I saw.
So that's the cover story, is that your deceased mother told her she can have the items, but she can't just go into your house during a hurricane evacuation and just steal stuff in a trash bag.
Yes, she did. Yes, she
Oh,
did.
but what I'm saying is that,
Hold on. Nancy, she took your mother's stuff back in December of 2023 after she passed, right?
Yeah.
And then she went back into your house a week ago while you were evacuated for the storm?
And then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then wait a minute. And then she also stole other neighbors' stuff as well?
Yes. She's going around looting at night.
Oh, my God.
They know it, and the community's okay with it.
Hold on. Why would anybody be okay with it? Listen, you got to call the Manatee County Sheriff's Office and report this. Like now, the minute we hang up, call and report it.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, thank you guys. Because I'm not sure how to handle it, and I didn't want to, I don't know, I feel sad for it, but still, you don't do that to people, especially when they're down and they're, we've had a hell of a hurricane through here. It's bad.
Yeah, I know. Listen, Manatee, Sarasota County, Manatee, Hillsborough, Pinella, all kinds of, awful things after these dual hurricanes. All right, so Nancy, you're from Philly, is that correct?
I am.
All right, so listen, unbelievable what's happened to you, but really, really importantly, when it comes to cheesesteaks, are you Geno's or Pat's?
Pat's all the way.
All right.
Extra whiz.
All right, so Pat's cheesesteaks, extra whiz. But actually, many Philadelphians will tell you that Geno's and Pat's are more of the tourist places, that there are other better cheesesteak places in Philadelphia.
There are.
All right, so if I happen to find myself in Philadelphia this weekend, which is a distinct possibility, where should I go for a great cheesesteak?
For a great cheesesteak?
Yeah, I want the best cheesesteak in Philadelphia if I happen to find myself in Philly this weekend.
Well, I'm going to say, you know what? It's on the outskirts. It's Lespaidas. Lespaidas in Pennsylvania.
Man.
It's 10 minutes.
What is it called?
Lespaidas.
Lespaidas. Or there's Delco's.
Lespaidas
down here.
Lespaidas or Delco's. Okay, I wrote it down. All right, listen, call the sheriff's office right now, okay?
I am. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you. All right, 8:15, 8:16 now at the MJ Morning Show. All right, where was I?
So
the cheating
deal.
deal.
The cheating.
I thought we were talking about cheesesteaks now. I was going to take my pants off.
I might find myself, seriously, I might find myself in Philly this weekend.
Okay, have fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I was going to have a nice, relaxing weekend, but it might be a Philly weekend. All right, so here's the deal. This woman says that she's caught thousands of cheating guys. Madeline Smith, I guess she's the bait chick who women can have, approach their guy to see if they take the bait. And she's ravishing. She's attractive. And what she's done is she's put together 8 signs that your guy is cheating on you.
Okay.
Number 1.
Is the bait chick doing some clickbait? These better be some good reasons that we haven't heard of before.
I mean, I'm sketchy in this right now.
Let me hold up her picture on MJTV so people can see this. All right, if you go to MJTV, you can see that She's attractive.
Yeah.
She's an attractive brunette. And then, hang on, look at this bikini body shot. Take a look at her bikini. I'm going to hold this up to MJTV as well. All right, look at this.
All right. Who is she walking up to, MJ?
Look at this.
She walks up to you. How do you not sniff out that there's a big problem here because you're hideous?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm hideous. I mean, Roxanne, that human.
Don't look at me. I'm hideous.
That human is not gonna walk up to me in the pub sub line. Hey, I'm getting an Italian sub with extra mayo too. You know, nobody. That person's not coming up to me.
You're gonna be like, yes, you've heard my jokes, haven't you?
I was like,
I'm looking for a guy just like you. You know what? It's not about the looks. It's about the personality.
You know what?
Hey, that's why opposites attracted. That's why I'm the troll under the bridge, and I've got this princess that was attracted to me.
Yeah, this
what is this
siren?
This woman's gonna walk up to me in the supermarket and say, like, you know what? I've always fantasized about being with a man who can crush me.
All right, number one. She says sign that your guy is cheating. Number one is he hides his phone. When you're out to dinner, watching TV at the home, does your guy leave his phone face up or face down?
But we kind of talked about that. Even in social settings, you want to put your phone face down because you don't want the other person to be like bothered by your phone clicking and buzzing. And
listen, my phone is face up. I don't even pay attention. Whatever I do with my phone, I do with my phone. But like my wife, Michelle, has the password to my phone. Michelle can get into my phone anytime she wants. And I generally fall asleep before her every night. She can easily grab my phone off my nightstand while it's charging, and she can go through my phone anytime she wants. And apparently Chloe knows how to get into my phone, too.
Apparently she does.
She does the Chloe hacks every once in a while on my Instagram account.
Doug and I used to have the same passcode to get into our phones. And then someone saw me do it on MJTV and texted and said, hey, is your passcode boom, boom, boom? And I was like, oops.
Yeah, it was like,
I guess I better change it.
Did Doug change his?
No, but then he asked me, he's like, hey, he saw me doing it one day. He goes, why'd you change your passcode? And I'm like, because they caught me on it. So he knows the new one, but he doesn't change his.
Hot bait chick Madeline Smith says that
hiding phones. Okay, so far this is revolutionary cheating data.
She says that faithful guys do not hide their phones, and they will share their passwords in the right situation. All right, listen, my wife has my password. All right, number two, signs that your guy is unfaithful. You're not in his pictures. With my pregnant client, it was immediately a red flag that there were no pictures of her on his Instagram profile. Even if he claims he never posts on social media, you should at least feature in his profile photo. You know, your partner should be proud to show you off, she says. Next, if he uses Snapchat. All right, so first of all, Michelle is in my pictures. I put Michelle videos up on my... We've got a nice picture of us at our 30th wedding anniversary dinner. Yes. You know, I put Michelle up all the time, so I don't hide that. I don't hide my phone, and she has my password.
All right, we get it. You're not this guy.
So, well, maybe I am. No, I'm kidding.
You're really, really good at it.
All right, so, you know, Michelle's in all my pictures. Next, he uses Snapchat. I have never used Snapchat. I have never had Snapchat on my phone.
I have to tell you, Snapchat is the most awesome of all the social media sites.
I thought Snapchat kind of faded a bit.
Yeah.
You don't see that ghost thing with like the QR code much anymore, you know?
That's not mainstream.
The best part of Snapchat is the filters that you can take funny faces where it like makes you like a dog with like floppy ears and a big tongue when you open your mouth.
The doggy nose.
You could spend hours on that.
That's fresh.
Fantastic. It's still fun.
It's really current and fresh.
I'm telling you, it's fun.
The little doggy tongue hanging out and the doggy nose. Yeah, it's groundbreaking.
It's fun. They have like 1,000 different filters.
Okay.
You spend all day doing it.
You ever use a thin guy filter?
You know what? They have the thin guy filter. Yeah. They have thin guy filter. They have old man filter. They have baby face filter. They have one where your nose grows like Pinocchio and you have to bob your head to catch rings on your phone. So much fun.
Here's another one. Another one of the signs you guys cheating on you. Won't show his location. We are all on Life 360. My location is known to my kids and Michelle 24/7.
You are so defensive in all of this. It's almost like you got something cooking.
That's true.
I'm telling the story. I don't. What do you mean? I've got
Everyone
something
you
cooking.
have an answer for. That's not me. That's not me neither.
I'm just
That's not me neither.
It wasn't me.
It
wasn't me.
Michelle has me on her phone. She knows where I am all the time.
Those that block their location, that could be a red flag. I show my location to the entire family.
Oh, great.
Then unequal expectations. So what does that mean? Cheaters are jealous people with fragile egos. That's almost always why they cheat. The validation of one woman's love is never enough for them. Smith urges women against falling into a one-sided trap of irrational rules. My clients often report that their partner expects them to have unrealistic boundaries with men, cutting off male friends, not even speaking of male colleagues or two male colleagues. Meanwhile, he's posting pictures of himself with bikini-clad stunners who are just friends.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well, listen, it sounds, as far as the unequal expectations, it just sounds like, the fragile ego, very narcissistic tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then here, is this the final one? Oh, no, there's more. The next little sign that your guy could be cheating on you is that he accuses you of cheating.
Ha-ha.
Gaslighting.
It's like the projection,
Projection.
Yeah, he's accusing you of cheating.
It's the rubber glue argument.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then next, intuition is key. Women are emotionally more intelligent than men.
Oh, my God.
But we're also masters of convincing ourselves that strange behavior must have an innocent explanation when every bone in our body is screaming otherwise.
Yeah, only one bone in his body is screaming.
So listen to this. I go to my high school reunion, and Michelle's like digging at me because I was tired when I got home, and Michelle's like, yeah, what happened this weekend? Why are you so tired? Why are you napping so much? And I don't know if she's giving me the biz.
Wait,
What?
I have a breaking news question. Did you smoke pot with your friends?
No, I did not smoke pot with my friends. I didn't do edibles. I'm not smoking a joint. I'm not doing
That's
edibles.
why you were tired.
No, I'm not.
All hungover from your gummies.
No. Let me call Michelle here. No, because I need to know if she's like just poking at me or if she's like really suspicious.
At what point do you ever look at Michelle and say, with some degree of love, just get off my ass?
Hello?
Are you listening?
No.
All right, so I'm going. So you have no idea what I'm talking about right now.
Not at this moment.
All right, so I'm going through the list of 8 signs that your guy is cheating on you, and intuition. The last couple of ones, emotional distancing, is on the list. So, I mean, there's a whole list of this woman who is like a bait chick, and she's caught thousands of unfaithful men, etc. But one of the things that I just brought up is that me coming back from my high school reunion, and I was tired. I fell asleep when I got off Michelle picked me up at the airport about 2:45 on Sunday, and I was tired. And Michelle's like, "What did you do this weekend? Why are you so tired? Were you being serious, or are you just giving me the biz?"
Well, what do you think?
All right, you're looking.
All right, so let's flip the script, Michelle.
Would you want me to be serious, or do you want me to be giving you the biz? Which would you prefer?
I think in that moment he just wanted a little peace and quiet, but he didn't get any of that, did he?
Look what I have to deal with.
That's fine.
Look what I have to deal with here.
I like, Michelle, how you're like, why are you so tired? And then I'm like picturing in my head MJ all sweaty in a bar on the dance floor with his shirt unbuttoned to his navel, just like raging, like, woo!
Right?
Back in the day. Yes.
Exactly. Thank you. That's what I'm like. What's going on here?
Falcons 84 forever. All right.
You literally had to come home and sleep all day.
I didn't sleep all day.
You should have.
And
Yeah, you did.
if you looked at my location on our family location app, you could see I was in the hotel room fairly early on both nights, on Friday and Saturday.
That's the problem.
Oh, shut up,
That's
Fester.
the issue. She knows what time
There
you're
you
at the hotel.
go.
Hey, I have one
Thank
question.
You, Fester.
WWV. Where was Vera?
Oh, will you stop it?
Do you know about Vera, Michelle?
I thought you meant WWV.
Yeah.
Broadcasting.
No, I didn't.
On 2.5,
No.
5, 10,
All right,
15,
radio nerd.
and 20 megahertz.
Don't nerd on me now. Where
Yeah.
was Vera? Do you know about Vera, Michelle?
Who's Vera?
Will you stop it?
Vera.
Will you stop it?
So
I just mentioned some of the.
Yeah. So
I mentioned
before you left.
Yeah.
I was like, so like, is like the captain of the cheerleading team going to be there?
I think that was Vera.
And you said
it was Vera Adams.
Friday. You're like,
Yeah.
her name is Vera. She might be. And I was like, Vera's a funny name.
Vera was there with her husband. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Clay
Whatever.
Conkright she hosted an after party after the football game on Friday night at her home with her husband.
Her last name is.
Oh, you told me it was a guy who had the after party.
No,
now
the name
it's a
is
girl.
The name is Clay Conkright. I thought it was a guy too.
Yeah, her father.
Yeah.
No, Clay Conkright's a girl.
Right.
And her
Oh,
father.
so that's interesting. Yeah, Fester.
What?
See, I assumed a guy because what kind of a girl has a name like Clay?
Right.
CLAYE. That's what kind of girl has a name like Clay.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, I have. Clay, and her father was a well-known family physician in Virginia Beach.
Name another female in the history of mankind named after Clay.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Michelle, stop giving me the business, okay? I know that you entertain yourself by really just jazzing me up.
You know why he was tired, Michelle? I really think he was orating on the hurricane in Florida. He said he had how many people asked you to tell the story?
Everybody.
And every
You know
person
what?
probably got the long story from you, the presentation.
Well, I didn't do the long story, but seriously, every person that came up to me and said, "Hey, what do you do? Where do you live these days?" And I live in Tampa, Florida. Oh, how did you do? 100 people. As soon as I said I'm living in Tampa for many, many years, they're like, "Oh, how did you do?" Everybody in Virginia Beach last weekend at my high school reunion was well aware of the hurricane. All right, Michelle, stop giving me the jazz. All right?
It's so fun though.
Stop jazzing me up.
You're so easy.
All right, goodbye. All right. So Fester, you said WWV, and what was your?
Where was Vera?
No.
You're at your hotel room.
No. Oh, jeez, I just screwed up the dial. Hang on.
You're setting up a joke. You can't even dial the phone. What are you doing here? What are you calling Vera? Don't call Vera. I don't want to talk to.
I'm calling WWV. You never heard this before?
I don't know what you're doing.
Why are we echoing?
What's happening?
Echo!
Hear it, ready? Hey, I heard it. All right.
Why is our hybrid echoing here?
I don't know. What are you trying to accomplish?
This is WWV in Fort Collins, Colorado. Broadcasting on an assigned frequency of 2.5, 5, 10, 15, and 20 megahertz.
Is this the time?
Yeah, listen. Yeah. This is the atomic clock. You can call up.
Hours, 30 minutes. Coordinated Universal Time. National Institute of Standards and Technology time. This is radio station WWV, Fort Collins, Colorado, broadcasting on internationally allocated standard carrier frequencies of 2.5, 5, 10, 15, and 20 megahertz.
See?
Providing time of day, standard time interval, and other related information. Inquiries regarding these transmissions may be directed to the National Institute of Standards and Technology.
Yep.
Radio station WWV.
It's like some state road.
2000 East County Road 58.
Yep.
Fort Collins, Colorado.
I was there. I pulled up to the gates with Julian.
What a nerd!
We actually pulled up to the front gates of WWV in Fort Collins.
And then you have it memorized?
What?
Fort Collins broadcasting on a 5 megahertz. WWV.
Anyway,
my God.
I first discovered that. My grandfather gave me an old Zenith transoceanic shortwave radio when I was like 7. And that's one of the first things I discovered, and I've been fascinated with it ever since.
So my grandfather used to call the Naval Observatory.
Like, for instance, pilots can dial up that frequency in the cockpit to coordinate their clocks in the cockpit.
But I remember we used to dial something with the Navy.
Yeah, it's the U.S. Naval Observer. So there's another master clock.
And they would say,
the Naval
Observer.
Yeah.
Boop, and then it's 8:30.
Let me ask you a question. Naval Observatory, Naval Do you think that I might have the phone number for the Naval Observatory Master Clock as well?
I painfully know the answer.
See if this one still works.
Why, we're still echoing. What's this?
Yeah, I
This
don't know.
sucks.
Yeah.
Are we still echoing?
Yeah, listen. See, you hear the clicks?
Yeah. But they only announced
U.S. Naval Observatory Master Clock. At the tone, Eastern Daylight Time, 8 hours, 32 minutes exactly. Universal Time, 12 hours, 32 minutes, 5 seconds.
Look at that. Is that riveting radio or what?
Oh, yeah.
Roxanne's, her eyeballs are rolling back in her head.
They are.
Right?
They are.
All right, so
Back to the
all right, so back to the cheating now.
if your man calls the Naval Observatory,
He's cheating on you. He's got hookers everywhere. All right, so the other deal is, speaking of hookers, controlled cheating. So this caught your attention when I teased this earlier.
That's what I was Googling.
All right.
Yes. What's that?
Controlled cheating.
Is
What
that
do
like a dominatrix cheating?
What do you think?
Ooh.
If I
Right?
say
Control.
an escort is revealing controlled cheating that she says is a trend. If you were to guess, and you were trying to Google it but you couldn't find it?
No, I couldn't find it. So this must be your really deep research. But
because Google is so inefficient for finding things. With
All right, so if I were to say controlled cheating and you have an escort, you've got a call girl, right? An escort call girl that's talking about a controlled cheating trend. What do you think that? Just take a guess.
So I think that what it is, now that you mentioned the word escort, it's when the guy doesn't do a ton of stuff with the escort, like maybe just, first, second, third base.
Nope.
I don't know.
That is
Controlled.
incorrect. Nope.
No?
Nope. Nope.
I don't know.
This is when wives book the escort for the husband. So it's controlled cheat. Listen to this.
Okay.
This escort is revealing this reason why wives are booking escorts so they can have some control. And if they think that their husband wants to stray or have something a little different on the side, that at least the wife gets in on the action and she can control who she hires to with the husband. That's called controlled cheating. 28-year-old escort says that she has seen an absolute uptick in wives and female partners booking the services of her for their husbands.
Oh my God, my wife doesn't even order pizza.
Man, how about this for a twist?
Yeah, that is a twist. You know what? I'm just really happy that when you did that list a few moments ago, the 8 signs your spouse is cheating or whatever, that taking frequent trips to the Bahamas was not on the list. So I think I'm good.
Oh, I missed that one.
I think I'm good.
Yeah. I mean, because your husband's like going away with, I think your husband's cheating with Derek Jeter.
Listen.
No,
Yeah.
definitly not.
That's what's going on there.
Got so many other issues.
Yeah. Anyway, controlled cheating. Hey, heads up on that. Listen, I'm not going to even ask for phone calls here because.
Did you ever buy your spouse a night out?
Yeah, I doubt we'd get phone calls on that.
I sure would like that more than another T-shirt.
Yeah.
I have to say, that wouldn't ever work in our household. That would be anything that I would go for. But I can see the principle behind it. And I'm going to share a quick story. A friend of mine found out her husband was cheating, and it turned into...
What's her name?
Let me give you her birthday and what school she graduated from.
What was her first name? What was her first name?
Her first name was Lucinda.
Yeah, right.
Okay. And
yeah, it was Lurleen.
Lurleen's
My
her
friend
sister.
Lurleen.
Lucinda's sister is Lurleen.
Yes.
She was so upset she had to go back and see her mama in the holler. All right, go ahead.
So I told Lucinda, I said, do you want to keep... Okay, I'm trying to think of a guy's name. Give me a guy's name. Come
Bill.
on. Bill. Do Lucinda and Bill you want to stay together? You want to stay with Bill? Yes, she does. She didn't want her home wrecked and all of that. She wanted to stay with him. I go, okay, it is very simple. This is what you have to do. You found this out. He knows you found it out. You tell him, go, have fun, be with your mistress, do whatever you want, have a good time. I'm going to date someone else, but you go do your thing. Because the secretiveness of that affair that Bill was having was the impetus. It was what was making it so exciting. So once you remove that, then it's like, oh, my wife doesn't care. She's like, okay, but that didn't happen. Lucinda fought
not
for him, and
so Lucinda did not go out
No.
and have a little fling on her own.
No, she didn't follow my advice. And I'm not even saying you don't have to do that. You just have to say you're going to do that.
How many times have you flung on Doug?
None.
All right.
None. I'm not saying. I'm saying if
all right.
and Doug knows. I've told him the same thing. If I ever find out that you're cheating, I'm going to say go, and I'm going to go do. In other words, you take the fun away.
Do you have a guy in mind that you would cheat with?
Fester.
Oh, you do. Oh yeah.
Fester, he's right here.
A hunk of burning love.
You are going to the opposite end of the spectrum
Actually,
on this.
Allison. And cheat with Allison. I'm sorry, Allison. No, I would immediately say, Doug, I have another couple that I'm going to be a throuple with you guys.
Oh,
Yep.
This is right.
I already have someone lined up.
Anyway.
No, in any case.
I'm going to call HR. I feel right.
Yeah, this is a violation.
It really is. Call HR. We have none.
We don't.
So my point is that you just have to, the person who's cheating, I get what you're saying with the controlled cheating, because it's like the wife is saying, all right, go do that. And it's not going to be as much fun for the guy. It's like, hi, I'm here. My wife gave me a hall pass. That's what the it takes the fun away.
What did I say earlier?
Michelle just sent me a text about you and cheating.
Saying what?
She goes, do I really have anything to worry about? ? He just demonstrated how he is the worst radio nerd. Calling all those time channels.
Listen, you brought up the Naval Observatory Master Clock.
After you brought up WWV.
No, you brought up WWV.
Where was Vera? That was my joke. You're like, oh, Colorado, 5 megahertz.
What did I bring up earlier? And I said maybe I'll take some phone calls on it later on. Do you remember? It was like an hour ago. Like an hour. I thought I said something like, yeah, maybe. And I thought I put it on the back burner.
We were talking about being invited to a wedding. It wasn't an hour ago.
No. We did wedding.
Maybe.
We did cheating.
Hold on. It was talking about invited to she was invited to a wedding because her girlfriend and her best friend and her ex-boyfriend got together.
Oh, yeah.
And you say, I wonder if we can get cars on.
Yeah, I don't need to mess with that.
Okay.
All right, so moving along. Got a little Taylor Swift news here. Of course, it's in Miami. Of course, it's the Florida story. 44-year-old man was arrested on Friday for impersonation. When is this tour going to end? Is she's still touring? I thought she was international. Now she's back in the U.S.?
She's back. And she's still selling out stadiums.
But, I mean, is this like a perpetual tour now?
I mean,
wow.
Why wouldn't she?
All right, so a 44-year-old guy was arrested on Friday for impersonating a security guard trying to get into a Taylor Swift concert down in Miami. Ivan Mariotti of Key Biscayne allegedly posed as a security guard dressed in a blue suit with a gold badge over his neck at Hard Rock Stadium, reportedly near the floor in the field area. The report said when an officer asked Mariotti why he was wearing a badge, he told them that he was hired by 4 women to work as a security guard, telling officials he worked for multiple security companies. He then told officers that he didn't have tickets, but he got in after he escorted those 4 clients to their seats. The arrest report said the women told the officer their aunt confirmed to authorities that she had hired a driver for the concert, not a security guard. So this guy played security guard and somehow snuck in? Sounds like they've got a little security issue in letting people into this particular venue.
If you got the uniform and the badge, I mean, a lot of the guys just maybe give it a glance and let you in.
This guy was the limo driver, and he puts a badge on, and he gets into the concert.
You're good.
The women that hired him said they're not sure why he had a badge, that his occupation is listed as Uber driver. Okay? And next thing, he's got a badge and he sneaks into the Taylor Swift concert down in Miami. Yeah, he was arrested on charges of falsely impersonating an officer and interfering with an entertainment event. And he was also being held on a warrant for immigration. No bond. Oh, so what, he's an illegal as well? Well, all right, and there's another little ancillary item. So Taylor Swift was in Miami on Friday night.
Yeah, this weekend was Miami. In case you're wondering, she has only a couple of stops left. She has New
On-
Orleans this weekend.
Oh my God, how many dates in Toronto?
And then she does like 6 dates over 2 weekends in Toronto.
God, hold on a minute. Let me see this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dates?
Because she does Thursday, Friday, Saturday shows.
Yeah.
So it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, November 14th through 16th.
She's doing 6 concerts at the Rogers Center. Isn't Rogers one of the big cell companies up in Canada? I think it is.
Yeah, that's where the Blue Jays play.
Wow.
I think.
That's 6 shows. And then she's doing 3 shows in Vancouver, eh?
That's where she wraps up her tour.
Oh, out and about.
For now.
Out and about.
Out and about.
All right, so back to Miami for a second. And this is just ridiculous. I saw a post. It might have been an Instagram reel from Taylor Swift's show in Miami last weekend. It was after 8 o'clock. The show had already begun. It's like 8:15 or 8:20. The show is on, and she does a pretty long show from what I understand.
She plays all the songs.
Yeah, when she played here, it was like a 3-hour show or something.
Yeah.
Do you know how much the cheapest tickets were? After the show began, if you went on the ticket websites, the aftermarket stuff, or like the Ticketmaster resale or whatever, do you know how much the tickets were still going for after the show began, after 8 o'clock on Friday night down in Miami?
I mean,
take a guess.
Usually after the concert starts, that's the time to snag a deal.
Yeah, exactly. You got the street scalpers, man. They're dumping tickets after the football game starts or after the concert starts.
Couple $100, $300?
Oh, no.
500?
No.
600.
No.
Are we close?
No.
1,500?
No.
2,000?
No.
Oh, come on.
10,000.
Oh my God. You ended that game.
Yeah, I did. I was done with that game.
I think I was deliberate.
Thank you, Roxanne.
Yeah.
Thank you for your mercy.
No,
but how many? 20?
We'll have more pricing games coming up next on the Showcase Showdown on The Price is Right.
So how much were they?
$4,000. Tickets were still going for $4,000 on Friday night after the show began down in Miami for Taylor Swift.
Man.
Holy crap. I saw that. Where did I see this? Channel 8's website had this. Major League Baseball wants the Tampa Bay Rays to play in the area if Tropicana Field is unfit. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Tropicana Field is unfit.
Yeah.
Right.
If.
I mean,
we know the answer to that.
In what world will they play in the Trop? Are they going to really replace a $30 million translucent fiberglass Kevlar flippity-flap roof when they're going to knock that thing down in 3 years anyway, or whatever, around 3? Why would they dump that money in? You know what? I wonder if they could just blue tarp the thing.
It would be so awesome and an homage to what our community has been through.
Westfall Roofing. I got to call Westfall Roofing and see if they've got enough blue tarp to cover the Trop. Sandbags and blue tarp, man. That's what we're dealing with.
We might need to collect it for a little while. I mean, it is a pretty big space.
Hey, Tropicana Field. Hey, Stu Sternberg. Call Westfall. All right, westfallroofing.com. Westfallroofing.com. And see if they can just blue tarp the Trop.
Yes.
All right.
Westfall, this is Stu Sternberg. I just need a patch.
But you also think about all the vendors in there, all the businesses, all the food vendors, and that's inside the Trop, that they're going to be out of business next season. Yes, Andrew.
Well, wherever they do find to play, won't those vendors cover those locations?
No, because the stadium would be 1/10 of the size.
And they don't have the infrastructure and all the little booths and all the little restaurants and all the little.
I mean, I've been to
facilities.
I've been to Steinbrenner Field a bunch of times. I've been to where the Phillies play a bunch of times, and they have vendors, but it's not like a stadium that can handle that kind. Because first of all, they're a fraction of the size.
All right, let me tell you what's going on right now. So Major League Baseball says they want the Tampa Bay Rays to play in the area.
Okay, so
we already went through the list of possibilities. Here's what I'm getting. I'm getting it. This is unofficial because they're not admitting this.
Was Raymond the mascot telling this to you?
Yeah, I have it on very good authority that the Tampa Bay Rays are looking at Palmacia Little League Field in South Tampa.
It wasn't supposed to be released.
And they're also looking at Tampa Bay Little League they've got an awesome field at 1560 South Manhattan. It's the Manhattan baseball fields. That's where Julian played for multiple seasons when Julian played Tampa Bay Little League. So the Rays are looking at those two South Tampa facilities to play games. So listen, the bleachers seat 80.
Yes.
All right. So it's going to be very intimate.
It's going to be intimate,
cozy, intimate event.
Well, Roxanne will be happy to know that Ed Radis Park, where the sports complex close to West Chase, is also in contention.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I can just walk over there.
Oh, look at the bleachers.
Yeah.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, like 9 or 10 rows. I mean, easily 12 people. You maybe 150, 180.
Which would be.
Oh, and look, there are bleachers right behind home plate as well.
That would be more people than actually went to the Rays game when they played the Oakland A's last time.
This is at the Ed Radis Sports Complex in West Chase?
Okay, kind of that area.
All right.
Sure.
Yes, Andrew.
I had heard that the Buddy Baseball Fields in Temple Terrace was one of the places they were looking at.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Well, apparently they've got a rockin' snack stand.
I mean, the cotton candy at Land O'Lakes Little League can't be beat.
Go. No, but if I were to guess, people are making noise about down in Port Charlotte. They're not going to put the Rays in Port Charlotte.
If I had to make a guess.
It's going to be Disney. What?
That's your guess too?
Well,
that wasn't my guess.
Well, MLB wants them to play locally here in Tampa Bay, but
what does locally mean to Major League? Does locally mean within the demographic region, which would include all of Central Florida?
The Yankee Stadium, the Yankee complex across from Raymond James on Dale Mabry, that would probably make a lot of sense. Or Al Lopez, but still, you're dealing with a fraction.
Steinbrenner Field makes the most sense if you're going to play in Tampa Bay.
Yes, absolutely. Steinbrenner Field makes the most sense. Absolutely. Or you get the Phillies complex.
But if you're in Disney, I mean, you'll get the dedicated Rays fans to make the trips, but you get the tourists.
But here's the issue. Logistically, are you going to be able to, let's say it was Steinbrenner Field. How are you going to coordinate that with the are they double A or single? What are they? The Steinbrenner Field is
Tampa Tarpons.
The Tarpons are what, double A or whatever. How are you going to balance that schedule of they need to be playing at the same time that the Rays would probably be playing?
Put the Tampa Tarpons at Palmacia.
There you go. Do a little switcheroo.
Just a little further down Del Mabry.
Come on.
Yeah, just hook a right on Henderson, and then you just roll in off of Watros or whatever that is.
What's going to happen to the? I want to really stir the pot here. What's going to happen to all the Rays season ticket holders and their money?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's a lot of
all the suites.
I wonder if the Rays are insured for this because the monetary hit is going to be ginormous.
I wonder if the person who was in charge of doing that was like, we're going to be out of here in a couple of years. We don't need to.
I mean, the payroll next year is going to be $46. I mean,
hey, Fester, I got some bad news for you.
Bad news for me? All right. Well, good thing I'm sitting down.
They're grand slamming the doors closed.
Grand slam the door. Denny's? What's happening at Denny's?
Yep. Denny's announces they're closing 150 restaurants.
Is that a lot for Denny's?
Listen, I would imagine they have about, 4,000?
I don't know. I mean,
oh, no, I'm wrong. Denny's has 1,358 restaurants, actually a lot less. Heavy presence in California, Texas, Florida, and Arizona. That's where the most are. But Denny's with 1,358 restaurants, and they're going to be closing 150 in the next month and a half by the end of the year or so.
So, you know what? Denny's is like that funny restaurant where, some of them you could tell just don't do well. I mean, if they're going to cut 150.
Oh, that's why if they've got 1,350 restaurants and they're cutting, that's what, 5% of the restaurants?
Mm-hmm. Or a little over 10.
What?
If they have 1,300,
I'm sorry.
150.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. No,
you're the numbers guy?
Oh, yeah. You're right. 10%.
A little over 10%.
My bad.
1,358 stores. So, wow. That's a lot of locations. It's a lot of people who are going to be looking for jobs.
Yeah,
or you can move to other Denny's.
You're going to get the Grand Slam breakfast, and they're going to Grand Slam on the door in your face.
Slam the door.
Closed.
Have they announced which locations will be closed?
Every one that you eat at.
Okay.
No. They have not clarified. To answer your question, Denny's has not clarified which 150 locations are scheduled to close.
I hope it's not the one on Fowler. That's my Denny's.
That's your Denny's?
Yeah.
At 8:51 at the MJ Morning Show. This brings to a close over An hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. You tell me where there was better radio morning entertainment for the last hour and 20 minutes on Tampa Bay radio.
Oh, you going to go with that?
That did not exist. Nowhere topped our crap. Nowhere.
You called the Naval Observatory a half an hour ago to find the time 20 minutes ago. I mean, really?
The diversity on this show is remarkable. All right? All right, 8:52 at the MJ Morning Show. 9 o'clock hour straight ahead. Oh, there's a story about flight attendants that are not making a lot of money and what they're resorting to do to make extra money. We'll get to that. Some continued bad news for the Buccaneers. We'll get to that in just a bit. Ooh, I've got the story of the day. We'll get to that coming. Oh, did you see what happened at SeaWorld?
What?
Oh, that's next. Hang on. We'll get to that. Yeah, hang on. We got a lot of stuff coming up. And the Abercrombie and Fitch story. Did you see what happened?
No.
Oh, there's the creepiest Abercrombie and Fitch story you've ever heard. Yeah, it's going to give me the opportunity to play. What is going on with that soundbite? All right, hold on. We'll figure it out.
Leave it like that. We need it like that. That's perfect, Andrew.
All right. It's the MJ Morning Show, Q105, 104.7 FM in Tampa Bay. And we'll be back with the 9 o'clock hour momentarily. Hey, let me... right, so Andrew put some of the other shorter song options on the board for me. So we could have played Hazy Shade of Winds, a drug-type movie with some of the Brat Packers. What movie was that, Andrew? With Hazy Shade. Less Than Zero. That was a good movie. Yeah. And then the other song that Andrew recommended for like quickies, it was the Georgia Satellites and Hippie Hippie Shake.
For goodness sake.
Yep, remember this?
I got the
Hippie Hippie Shake.
Yeah, I got the shake.
And this was on the Cocktail soundtrack with Kokomo.
I can't sit still.
Oh, and Iko. Do you remember? Oh, Michelle. Hey, Fester. Go to YouTube.
All right.
Yeah, go to YouTube and type in Iko by the Bell Stars.
YouTube.
Do you remember that? Oh, wait a minute. We have that as well?
We do? All right,
Yeah,
play it.
we have that in the system? A Cajun Fester should love that song.
Yeah.
we do love the Iko song. One of our favorites. I actually had this as my wedding dance.
You ever play that when you're making the gumbo?
Ooh, let me tell you now. I usually do it when I'm whipping my flag boy.
All right. So Roxanne sends me an email last night.
By the way, I sent you 2 emails, and then I realized this morning that one of them sat in my outbox.
No.
So you just got the second one this morning.
All right. Well, I haven't seen that one yet, but you're telling me that somebody tracked down your corporate Beasley email address? And
Yes.
How do they do that?
I don't know, but isn't that fantastic?
Somebody tracked
Yeah.
down. Hold on. My email is mj@mjmorningshow.com. And they don't send it to me, but
No.
they track down your Beasley internal,
Yes.
Roxanne dot, and they track that down?
I get a lot of emails on that account, oddly.
How?
I don't know.
I've
Maybe they
never
call.
told-
I don't know.
I've
Listen
never
to
told
this.
anybody that email address.
The subject line, and this came in yesterday, the 22nd.
This is great.
Subject line, Linda Blair.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You're on an old. You're on an old list. You're just on a list. This was like a mass emailing or,
All right, listen to
or
this.
a regional emailing.
Listen to this. I hope all is well. I enjoy listening to you guys in the morning on the way to work. Can you please forward this email to MJ or Fester? I tried to email it yesterday to MJ@morningshow.com because it's got to be MJMorningshow.com. Yeah, you got to send it to MJ@MJMorningshow.com. You can't just send it to morningshow.com. I think that goes to Jennifer Aniston and her TV show on Apple. All right, so this guy sends me an email. It bounced back because he had the wrong email address. Temporary problem. And with Halloween around the corner, I thought they would get a kick out of it. Good morning. So here's the actual email. That was the preface with the forward to tracking down Roxanne. Good morning. Since day one of the MJ and BJ morning show, I listened to you guys. Thanks for keeping us entertained all these years. Somewhere around 24 years ago, I heard that Linda Blair would be signing autographs at a haunted house in Ybor.
I remember that.
I decided to take the family over and give the kids a good scare. Afterward, I waited in a short line to get Linda Blair's autograph. Of course, she was the possessed little girl in The Exorcist. In what is probably one of the most memorable scenes ever in The Exorcist, she vomits up her dinner of split pea soup in an impossible 360-degree spray. Knowing this, I brought her a Campbell split green pea soup label to autograph. Little did I know that morning that Linda Blair was a guest on your radio show.
Yep, I remember.
And Fester got her fired up. When I handed Linda the label, she stopped signing autographs and assumed a strange and aggressive stance. I guess you got this idea after hearing me talk about it this morning. No, I replied, as I was somewhat confused. She then described how unprofessional Fester was and said that she would never make another appearance on the morning show. I recall her saying that he spewed some split pea soup in the studio. Fester's little stunt that morning almost did me in, and I didn't think that she would sign the soup label for me. Eventually, she did, after learning that my wife was an SPCA volunteer. At the time, Linda was committed to rescuing, rehabilitating, and rehoming abused, neglected, and abandoned animals.
That's right. I remember
and I
that.
believe she still is today. Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's her cause.
I thought you would get a chuckle out of this all these years later. Take care, Gary Gross from Lakeland. And then Gary also encloses a picture of him and Linda Blair at this event in Ybor 20-something years ago.
I remember that day too well.
All right, Fester.
Yes.
Why don't you fill our listeners in on the infamous MJ morning show? Actually, it was MJ and BJ. Fill our listeners in on the infamous MJ and BJ Linda Blair live appearance and the split pea soup. Do you remember the whole story?
I mean, I could probably piece it together.
All right, go ahead.
It probably happened maybe today. Today might be the anniversary because next week is Halloween. But there used to be in Ybor City a big haunted house. It was it was massive. I don't even know if the building still stands, but it was a big haunted house. It was a big deal 25 years ago, 24 years ago. Linda Blair is coming to sign autographs. And so we knew these people. The radio station worked with them. They were advertisers. And they said, hey, we would love to get Linda Blair on the morning show to promote her appearance.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know who Linda Blair was. I had no idea who she is. MJ tells me she's from the movie The Exorcist. I've never seen The Exorcist. He calls me the night before and says, hey, go to the supermarket and buy split pea soup. I'm like, what? Just get 2 cans of split pea soup. We're going to need them tomorrow morning. Linda Blair walks in. BJ was wonderful to her, super gracious. MJ, we started talking an interview.
I was gracious as well.
You were.
I was.
But you also gave me the can of soup and said, get it in your mouth. Eat it, as much of it as you can. Put as much of it as you can in your mouth. And when I tell you, we're going to spit it all over the studio. And I'm like, okay. So I took practically an entire can of condensed split pea soup.
Campbell soup.
And I wedged it in my face.
Good.
I had my cheeks were puffing out. Roxanne, you could not fit any more food in this mouth.
Like a chipmunk.
He was like a chipmunk storing up for the winter.
Roxanne, so I'm waiting for the...
I love the music in the background, by the way.
Or
I do
like
this all the time. Go ahead.
Louis, like old Satchmo, Louis Armstrong blowing a trumpet.
Look, and the interview went on and on for 2 or 3 minutes. And then MJ brings up The Exorcist, which she's super happy to talk about because that's the only reason why she's getting paid a few bucks to appear in front of this haunted house in Ybor City is because she was in The Exorcist.
Your mother so sucks in hell.
And they had a chuckle. I think he even said that exact line and back and forth. And you went back and MJ gives me the point and I kind of tap Linda on the shoulder and I go, all over and
over her?
All over her, all over the equipment,
Oh my
all over
gosh.
my microphone,
Are you
all over the
kidding
computer
me?
monitors, all over the keyboards.
Oh
it
my
landed
gosh.
on MJ. I was about as far as I am now, about 6 feet from MJ, maybe 8 feet from MJ, and I got it on him, on his board, on his shirt. I got it on BJ.
Did she walk out?
I'm
trying to remember.
Furious.
I mean, what was she supposed to
Livid.
wear after that?
She was livid. She was wearing if I recall correctly, and there's pictures of her around. I mean, I think we had some listeners come by to meet her, or some of the salespeople got pictures before she came in.
I'm trying to remember.
What pissed her off?
Did we get her to try to consume the split pea soup? And I think we might have tried to get her to do it first.
Because you had 2 cans.
Right. I tried to get her, if I remember correctly. And this is like how many years ago is this?
Yeah, maybe 98,
This might have been 26 or 20. This is a long time ago because BJ was still there. And I think we tried to get her, we opened up the can of Campbell's split pea soup. We tried to get her to put it in her mouth first and then go, yeah. And spit her head around.
I was behind her already loaded, ready to go.
Oh my
she
gosh.
didn't do it.
When she refused, Fester did it.
And it turns out I got split pea soup with ham because I didn't know the difference, right? It was split pea soup. It was Campbell's split pea soup with ham.
Yeah.
And she picks up the can and she looks at me and she goes, I'm a GD vegetarian.
That's right.
She was so pissed.
It had ham hocks in it or
spit
something.
ham on her.
Yeah.
And it did not go well. The interview was over immediately. And she stormed out.
That's right. Linda Blair and an infamous appearance on the MJ Morning Show years and years ago. We haven't told that story in
Ever. I mean, on this show.
Have we not ever told it on this show?
I don't recall sharing it.
No.
So news to Roxanne.
Yeah.
Listen.
I feel like there have been plenty of Linda Blair references, but I never heard that. But that whole crazy thing.
Spewed split pea soup on Linda Blair. Let me tell you, to this day, I hope she listen. I hope she had a nice life. I'm sure she's a nice lady. But she hates me.
She'd remember that in a minute. Is she still alive? So she's got to, wait a minute. Linda Blair must be 70 years old, 72 years old, 73. How old is Linda Blair? She is, you got to get out of YouTube. Go back, just go to
Blair.
Oh, she's 65?
65 years old?
She's 65. All right, she's younger than I thought. You know what? We ought to invite her back in.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah, and just try the same old shtick again. Maybe she's lightened up a little bit.
You know what?
Maybe she's not a vegetarian anymore.
We tell her we want to talk Halloween and maybe make amends, and then I'll just douse her with pea soup. What is she going to do? She's Linda Blair.
Oh, man. All right. Andrew wants me to take a line here. Line 4. Do you know, is this a surprise? Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show. Who is this?
This is Cindy.
Cindy, welcome to the MJ Morning Show. Can I help you?
Yes, sir. I'd like you to post out to all the listeners that I'm the commander of VFW Post 39 in St. Pete. It's on Central Avenue. We had 48,000 pounds of disaster supplies delivered. Diapers, bottles, formula, cleaning supplies, clothes, you name it, I've got it. We're going to open it to the public at 12 o'clock. We're still sorting. If you could post that out, it's free.
Absolutely. So
all free.
People afflicted by the hurricanes. So, Cindy, you have 48,000 pounds of free items, including diapers and clothing and what else?
All the cleaning supplies you can think of, paper towels, hygiene.
Wow.
Toilet paper.
Cindy, where did all of the merchandise come from?
It actually came from the VFW disaster team in just north of Pascagoula, Mississippi.
Wow. All right. So you're at 2599 Central Avenue in St. Pete, and the distribution for free items is going to begin at 12 noon today.
Yes, sir.
Well, that is fantastic. Cindy, thank you for calling in, and I'm happy to get the message out.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for being the post Grand Poobah.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for calling in.
That's great.
All right,
y'all have a great day.
You bet. Andrew, do you have the address written down?
You kidding me? He's going there for paper towels.
Wow. And some tidy bowl. Yeah.
I mean,
it's on
listen,
Central Avenue, guys.
If you need the help, it's there for you, man.
Wow.
And that's awesome to see the community stepping
On the other station.
Was
back
that
when
a
it was,
is this a one-hit wonder, LFO?
LFO had a couple of
Did they?
songs. Yeah. All right. So why am I playing the Abercrombie and Fitch thing? Did you see the Fester, Roxanne? Did you guys see the Abercrombie and Fitch story that
I
broke?
saw that their CEO was arrested, but
Well,
I didn't get into it.
former CEO, man.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
Former Abercrombie and Fitch CEO Mike Jeffries and two others arrested yesterday by the feds. This is like Sean Diddy Combs light.
Ooh.
To a certain extent, yeah. Part of a criminal investigation into an alleged sex trafficking operation of more than a dozen victims, according to federal prosecutors in the FBI. Jeffries, his partner Matt Smith, and a third guy, Jim Jacobson, are accused of operating an international sex trafficking and prostitution business that recruited young men for parties in the United States and abroad. This is a 16-count federal indictment. The former executive and Smith relied on their vast financial resources, Jeffrey's power as CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, and numerous people, including Jacobson, and a network of employees, contractors, security professionals, to run a business that was dedicated to fulfilling their sexual desires and ensuring that their international sex trafficking and prostitution business was kept secret. Federal prosecutors said the trio allegedly paid dozens of men to travel around the world to engage in sex acts over at least a 7-year period starting in late 2008 and going through 2015. So here comes this indictment almost 10 years later. The indictment mentions 15 alleged victims identified as John Doe's, Numbers 1 through 15, Jeffries allegedly recruited, hired, and paid a slate of household staff to facilitate and supervise the sex events. Wow. And you know what? He was pulling the old thing. Hey, do you want a promising career as an Abercrombie & Fitch male model? Well, just do this. Boom, chicka, wow, wow.
I mean, is society really getting sick of these people who thwart the power, whatever their position with they control the money, the
It seems
the jobs like Puff
everything's
Daddy.
falling down around them.
Yeah, and the people who prop them up and allow them to treat people like crap and do these heinous things.
So
Like,
the
are we
feds,
sick of this? Yes.
The feds think that there are many more victims, and they're asking other victims to come forward. Yeah, Jacobson allegedly traveled throughout the United States and internationally to recruit and interview men for the so-called sex events. According to prosecutors, during tryouts of potential candidates, Jacobson required that the candidates first engage in sex acts with him.
Oh.
Oh.
How many of them just said, you know what, I'm out. No thanks.
I guess how old this former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, Mike Jeffries, is today. Guess how old he is.
I don't know. Abercrombie & Fitch is a big
Take a guess how old he is.
70.
How about 80?
Oh, okay.
80 years old. That means if this is, 16 years ago when it first began, or when they at least have information back to that point, that means he was, 64 years old.
All right.
Wow.
Did not one of these male models say, you know what, I think I'm just going to kick your ass instead?
Yeah, right?
How about I just snap your neck and
How
I'll
did-
explain it to police?
How did this take so long to come out? I mean, years. His lawsuit accused, David Bradbury, former crewman on the reality series Below Deck. Oh, so his super yacht featured on that. Was that like a Bravo series?
That's a cool show where it says like the life of like people who live on these super yachts as the crew.
What channel has Below Deck?
Is it TLC or Bravo
Tell
or
you
something?
what,
It's one of those channels.
With his Abercrombie & Fitch thing, he should have been on Below Dick. Sorry.
That's all right.
Sorry.
Yeah,
It's too easy.
Just gotta let him go.
All right. His lawsuit accused Jeffrey, Smith, and Jacobson and Abercrombie itself of luring attractive young men under the guise of making them an Abercrombie model and then forcing them to take drugs and perform sex acts. Wow. There's a whole lot more to the story here, but those are some of the stinging details.
That's awful.
Yeah, so the feds are all up on his case right now. So you have, the Diddy story. Now you have this Abercrombie & Fitch executive. He probably thought he was home free, and then bam, they come and raid his place. I think it might have been in Miami or something, and then they arrest him.
If he messes around with a lot of people, he might be Abercrombie and Itch.
Jeez. Yeah. What a mess.
Yes, he would be Roxanne.
Yeah.
This is awful. MJ, Roxanne's right. All of these deviant behaviors and hidden groups, they're all getting exposed. I mean, what were these guys thinking when Epstein went down? They've been like, holy crap.
Oh, I got away with it. Oh my.
Woo! Dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, really.
I remember maybe a decade ago or maybe more, there were some people saying that there's all of these groups that groom and abuse people, and we all thought, no, that's crazy.
All these
Like the casting couch almost seems like, okay, that's just sort of a myth or something, right? No, it is a thing.
This is far beyond any kind of casting couch.
Twisted sex schemes, man.
Speaking of LFO and their song, what was it? The Abercrombie & Fitch song?
Yeah.
Do you know how many members were originally in LFO?
I don't know.
I like girls that wear Abercrombie & Fitch.
Why is that relevant? Why?
Well, there were 4.
But why?
These are all men who would be about 50 years old now.
Right.
Do you know how many are still alive?
How many members of LFO?
I like girls that wear Abercrombie & Fitch.
Of the original 4.
There are 3. I think I remember hearing that at least 1 died.
3 of them have died.
3 have died? Whoa. There's only 1 surviving member of LFO, the band that did.
I like girls that wear Abercrombie & Fitch.
How's that?
Rich Cronin died of leukemia in 2010 at age 36.
Oh, that's awful.
Devin Lima died of stage 4 adrenal cancer in 2018 at 41.
Holy F.
And then Brian Briz Gillis died, but there's no cause of death given.
Wow. So one surviving member of LFO?
Yeah. Wow.
LF Uno.
That's about it.
My God.
That's crazy.
All right, 9:26 of the MJ Morning Show. I'm way late here. Let me take my final break of the show. Then we have our final segment next. And, I didn't get to the flight attendant story.
Oh, I want to hear that.
Underpaid flight attendants are resorting to this. I got to get into the bucks. I got the story of the day. The SeaWorld story. Man, this is crazy. Oh, man, you got to hear this. All right, all that next and probably more on the MJ Morning Show here on 104.7 FM, Q105.
McConaughey like tripping and
Smoking
playing some
pot?
bongo drums.
Oh, you know what? Hey, speaking of tripping out, I didn't get to this today. Where is this? Hang on, let me see if I can find this. We got to do this tomorrow. I've been holding on to this for like 3 days now. Oh, the headline is phenomenal. The middle class women who are tripping balls.
Hey, this is a thing.
I know.
This
This is a total so I saw this thing. I mean, you're clearly aware of this. I've been holding on to this for like 3 days now.
Yeah.
I printed this out over the weekend, actually. I saw this in Virginia Beach while I was doing, show prep, away from my reunion weekend. And I'm like, oh, man, we got to talk about this. But the number of, like, women, like mothers, middle-aged women that are doing, like, hallucinogens. They're doing shrooms and stuff. And
mommy microdosing.
oh, my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the headline is the middle-class women who are tripping balls. All right, so we got to get into this.
Jeez.
Little teaser for tomorrow's show. Let me asterisk this. So we'll definitely get to that on tomorrow's show here on the... So you want to... this particular rejoiner, which, by the way, this is a killer song. Do you know the song at all?
I don't. I feel like this is the first time I've heard it.
Hey, Fester, do me a favor. Bring up... Go to YouTube again, because I doubt this is in the system. Go to YouTube and bring up... This was like just an obscure semi-80s hit. And it was a band called Welcome to the Boomtown by David and David. And this is one of Michelle, my lovely wife's favorite songs. And it popped up on my my Spotify playlist while I was, walking a few days ago. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make that. I got it, Fester. I'm going to make that a rejoiner. And because I know that Michelle would love it if Michelle was listening to this thing. So hang on, I got to let this ad play, and then Welcome to the Boomtown. The band was David and David.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah, you probably never heard of this, but this is a great song.
He is going. Has an unpredictable melody.
Yeah, it's a mess.
It's not a mess.
I mean, I don't know how that song got greenlighted. It's like, what the hell are you guys
It is
thinking?
kind of a mess. I mean, I like it, but it's a mess. You're right.
Great
Fester.
song. It's not a mess. All right, so the flight attendant story.
Yeah.
Underpaid flight attendants turn to stripping to make extra money.
On the flight?
And even eating passengers' leftovers? Come on, there are enough. Well, I don't think they're eating off of the passengers' trays that they collect at the end of meal service, like in first class in business. But because they always have extra meals on the airplanes.
Yeah, sure. I mean, when you say passenger leftovers, I don't think they're,
Listen to this. A stripping flight attendant might seem like an OnlyFans fantasy. However, that's not the case for some stewardesses or air hostesses who've turned to removing their clothes for cash. I am definitely not a girl that you would normally see in a strip club. A stewardess, Bree, flight attendant, told News Nation of her unlikely side hustle. I grew up with a lot of morals, a lot of Christian morals. I have a partner, I have a job. However, after a long shift in the sky, the air hostess removes her wedding ring and stewardess uniform and prepares to begin her gig at a strip club. Wow. In order to make extra money.
Okay. I mean, listen, times are tough. People are doing things they wouldn't have done in the past.
Yeah, some of the language I can't even get into here. While flight attendants might seem like they make a lot of money, in reality, they're dirt poor, making under $30,000 a year.
Really?
In their first year. Now, listen, if you're a senior flight attendant, you're knocking on six figures or over six figures in many cases. Yeah, some flight attendants can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what? Just for the hell of it, who knows? It's 9:41. Are there any flight attendants listening right now? If not, you know what? I want to readdress this tomorrow morning.
Okay.
I'm going to put this in the mommy tripping balls pile for tomorrow.
Yes.
All right? And we ought to readdress this. Are there any flight attendants that are listening right now? Call us. 800-990-1047. How much you making? You can remain anonymous. You don't have to say what airline you work for. But if you are a flight attendant, phone us up right now. And if you want to remain completely anonymous, that's fine. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Yeah, just remember that it's 800. Remember the 990, and remember our frequency is at 104.7 FM. 800-990-1047. Flight attendants can make under $30,000 a year their first year.
That's not a lot.
Nope. And this Bree, makes between $300 and $1,000 a night stripping. Enough to cover rent and more.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Look at that. She did an interview with News Nation. One problem is that many airlines, including United. Andrew, pick up phones, would you please? Oh, we got a flight attendant. Hang on a minute. Got Lisa in Tampa. Lisa, hi. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi there.
Hey, Lisa. How are ya?
I'm doing good, thanks.
All right, Lisa, how many years have you been a flight attendant?
Well, I've been a flight attendant most recently. I'm going into my fourth year, but I also flew in the late 90s. So,
Oh, so you did it, you stopped, and then you went back.
So you took a 20-year break.
So same airline, second time around, or a different airline?
No, new airline. Going to keep it anonymous, but new airline,
All
yeah.
right, can you tell us the first airline you worked for?
Continental.
All right, so Continental then was absorbed by United.
Yes, yes.
All right, and now you're working for a completely different airline.
Yes.
Are you Tampa-based?
Yes.
Okay, and it's a big airline, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a newer airline, but it's getting big.
Okay.
All right, did I fly them from Norfolk to Tampa nonstop last Sunday?
Possibly.
Does it rhyme with cheese?
Yeah.
I've had a good time on Breeze,
Yes.
And by the way, I flew for my very first time on the Airbus 220. That was my first ever time on an Airbus 220.
It's nice.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah, so I had a Norfolk-based crew and a nice flight. I thought the Airbus 220 was very, very nice. I've had good success with Breeze. I don't know if you heard the story, but I was on one of the Embraers. And do you fly both? Are you on the Embraer as well as the Airbus?
I fly, yeah. Well, I'm very lucky. I'm one of their part-time instructors, so I get to fly everything. But the 220 is based in Tampa,
Gotcha.
so we fly that majority.
Gotcha. All right, so I've been on both, and a year ago, I don't know if you heard about this. A year ago, I was flying back from Norfolk, and we landed, and the landing gear broke. Now, it didn't collapse, but it got all twisted, and we couldn't go to the gate, and they had to drag us in. But but other than that, listen, I even said, hey, I'll fly Breeze again. I have enjoyed Breeze really both my trips. I would absolutely fly Breeze again.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad. With the landing gear issue, you still gave us another chance.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, because I had a great flight up. But I was a little peeved because I came back on Breeze, but going up, I was supposed to do Breeze nonstop Tampa, Norfolk last Friday.
You guys should really switch numbers.
Hold on a minute. Hang on a minute. So last Friday, I was supposed to fly Tampa to Norfolk nonstop, and they moved my flight from like Friday at noon to Saturday.
I remember that. Yeah, that's not a delay. That's like a reschedule.
Yeah, it's not like an hour earlier, hour later. It's like, what, you moved it? That kind of screwed my...
They call it's an overnight delay.
Yeah, that was an overnight delay, exactly, which would have had...
delay.
Yeah, would have had me missing my reunion on Friday night. So I had to book American, so it actually cost me money, because I had to... And then I had to fly through Charlotte, which I hate. So
yeah.
All right. So Lisa, Fester's having a fit over here. Fester's like
I can't take it.
He's pulling his little remaining follicles out of his head.
We asked flight attendants to call in about salary, and here we are going on an MJ rant about an airline. Oh my god.
So
poor Lisa.
Lisa, when you started with United back in the day, do you remember how much money you were making as like a first-year flight attendant?
Yeah. So at Continental in 1997, I think I believe it was. We started at $18 an hour.
Right. And how much would that come out to a year based on your flying schedule?
Well, you have to think about flight attendants. We only get paid once the door. Well, most of us only get paid once the door is closed.
That changed. Which airline just had that change? So now
there's a few. Yeah, there's a few that are doing like the boarding pay, but it's only like half pay.
Well, you should get paid though. I mean, why should you get paid once the door closes? If you're standing there greeting passengers and helping passengers on the plane, you should get paid for that.
Well, be a voice for us.
You should get paid the minute you cross the threshold into that jetway. I mean, that's when you should get paid.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but no, we only paid. Technically, it's called a block hour, so it's hours or once the door has closed.
Gotcha.
That's when our pay starts.
So, did you hear what I said? That apparently some underpaid flight attendants are resorting to stripping at strip clubs.
No, wouldn't surprise me though. There's a lot of other ways that you can make money though, but not having to be a stripper.
All right, but have you heard of this? Have you ever had any flight attendants that you've known work at a strip club to supplement their income?
Not personally, no.
All right, and how long you been back with Breeze?
I'm in my fourth year.
Awesome. Anyway, listen, I'm glad you called in, and of course,
yes.
Breeze is a startup from the guy that started JetBlue.
Yes.
Yep.
It's a great airline.
And listen, I'll fly them. I'll fly them again. I've flown them now, 3 times. It would have been 4 if they didn't cancel my flight. But I'll fly Breeze again, especially the Tampa Norfolk nonstop. And listen,
good.
I've been very happy with Breeze. Anyway, thank you, Lisa, for phoning in.
Yes, y'all have a good day.
All right, bye-bye.
You too.
All right. So she has not heard of other flight attendants supplementing their income by working at strip clubs.
Sometimes these stories, I'm starting to realize it's one person, and then they make a big old headline about it.
We don't know that. We ought to tackle that again tomorrow morning in more prime time to see if we can get some other flight attendants to phone in, because maybe they're hopping right off that United flight at Tampa International, and they're cruising right down West Shore to the Dollhouse.
Yeah, I mean, he's right there.
Yeah, exactly. What else will we get? Oh, the Bucks. Oof. Now there's all kinds of chatter that the Bucks won't even make the playoffs with the loss of Godwin. And have they said how long they expect Mike Evans to be out? Godwin's done for the season, right?
Godwin's out for the season. Mike Evans out for 3 weeks.
Oh, geez.
So he'll be out through week 11, which is their bye.
Oh, boy.
So he misses the next 3 games against Atlanta, Kansas City, and San Fran. What happened at SeaWorld?
Oh, let me shut this crap off.
Hang
on.
That's all I was waiting for that, too. All I wanted to know is what happened at SeaWorld, and here I am listening to you about Breeze Airlines again.
Are you ready for the ooh story? This is the ooh. It's the ooh and the SeaWorld. Now, this is not SeaWorld San Diego. This is not SeaWorld Orlando.
Oh, there's one in Texas, too, isn't there?
No, this is SeaWorld Peoria, Illinois. What are you talking about?
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
No, it is. It's SeaWorld San Antonio.
Okay, I knew there was one in Texas.
Who the hell? Why do you have a SeaWorld in San Antonio, Texas? What is it, the Alamo edition?
The middle of Texas.
Yeah, just SeaWorld in landlocked San Antonio. All right, so here's the deal. Listen to this. Audience members attending an orca show had poop flung all over them by the whale.
Dude, that's
What?
Yes, listen to this.
That's the reality, man.
All right, so members of the audience, SeaWorld San Antonio, got a little more than their ticket price, all right? The whale defecated in the pool. Now, I don't know where else the whale would have gone, all right?
I mean, it lives in the water.
It does. So the whale defecates in the pool and then seemingly deliberately splashed the water all over the crowd, flinging whale poop all over them.
Gosh.
You know what?
You're kidding.
You're going to stick me in that pool. I'm going to do the same thing. Good for the whale.
Hey, Fester does that at the community pools all around town. He poops in the pool, then flings it on all the people on lounges on the side.
Good for the whale. I'm on the whale's side on this one.
Alex Bermudez posted a video showing the orca swimming in a glass-walled pool with a cloud of whale poop following behind. Then the mammal splashes the water onto the crowd, and people were hit with flying whale poop and water. Oh,
well, we do swim in whale pooped water all the time.
listen,
They're not right next to us. We swim with fish poop in the pool in the ocean that we swim in.
I'm a scuba diver.
Yeah.
I'm
Probably pooping all over.
Well, I'm right in the front of fish,
Yeah.
and I'm watching them poop. Seriously. Seen all kinds of stuff down there. SeaWorld announced in 2016 that it would end its orca breeding program and phase out the animals at its parks after this generation dies out. Like, for whales, it could be 50 years or something?
I mean, they have a long life.
Yeah, 5 orcas currently reside at SeaWorld in San Antonio. How many orcas are at SeaWorld Orlando?
Oh, God, I don't know.
Probably similar, right? Mm-hmm. Or maybe more, because I'm sure SeaWorld Orlando is the biggest visited park, then followed by San Diego, right? They still have San Diego, right?
Yep.
And then San Antonio. I think that's it, though. Can you look up quickly how many SeaWorlds there are? I think there are 3.
SeaWorld Orlando has 5 killer whales.
Yeah, all right. But then that's a killer whale. But
SeaWorld has 18.
But what about
orcas are killer whales?
There are 4 SeaWorld parks in the world.
Again, I'm a scuba diver. I know a lot of things, but not everything. Is an orca a killer whale?
Yes.
Okay, so an orca is a killer whale.
Yeah.
I guess I sort of knew that.
SeaWorld has 18 of them total.
Gotcha.
Across its 3 parks in the United States.
Right, so those are 3. San Diego, Orlando, and San Antonio.
Fun fact about orcas.
Did you say spun fact?
No, well, I didn't know how I was going to go with this, but I think it's a fun fact. Did you know that orcas are the only other mammals aside from humans that go through menopause?
All right.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
What was that in the book you're reading right about now?
Folks, we got to roll. We'll see you back here tomorrow on the MJ Morning Show, 104.7 FM Q105. Do me a favor. You need to get a hold of me. I'm MJ at MJMorningshow.com. That's my private email. And give me a follow on Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. And let's be careful out there.
Hear the latest MJ Morning Show podcast on the Q105 app, powered